plus
enante na ye to aba that is
plus
John
Baumia and then I'm choosing
Kofo
me and Yankopon
afi 20 baby oto aba na
December abato
na na obeto na ba nsem bebre wo ho a wunyan te wo bebia
yes
age Onua TV
asofo okuda
Onua FM enya me kwa na me wo ha wote efia enka dada na afi minua bema Isaac
asofo bi
na ma JB ni asase for dia but your friend Isaac JB and JB
Bahumia and Yamia
okay
on the Ghana Shanks.
And what about the wife?
Yes, Zimban,
I don't want
so many Ghana.
Go do it, your man.
Obi so no aka so say it me pa
me ampa me ni na wa me say
asofo no something kan kan the asofo no kan no obi aboa
Captain
obi aka bi obi
and this is the very first time yenya
obi aka di ope
dada
obi aka di ope now
first time Wakofie. Esa so ba so ba be seeking for re-election. CS actually so abandon. And it's going to have a direct relationship or direct with the US of A. You have a question, do that now, Donald Trump
mistake.
And the US for say
Sana etiye resource ekowi na ba ha
asaso be obaye obe contest here wasai US for asaso retain as the president of the United States of America. Now say ye US for Abatoɔ no ekɔ the way a esikon prepare then it's likely most likely say a change is going to happen today but okay. And the will of the Ghanaian people is going to prevail. Ghana for you now. And Ekwakoto Saturday. Now, Omo decide, ye that Ekwako decided, say, ye pay a suesi and obey. Now we have come to the crossroads. And the thing is that, and that is the will of the people today. It is a Ghana for deciding we are. Acha, yes, I'm not by Lucia, and the corner so that the Kwako people said, do we do that? Sometimes, you will about your four. This is your four. Obesa ko back to yes, Donald Trump on the Kofi. On 14 June 1946. Oh, Kofi. Oh, okay. Donald Kofi Trump. I bet you are maybe the Dubai. Yes. Donald Kofi Trump.
Twice have I heard this.
So, and that's by 7, 8, 9 p.m. later this evening. They will decide themselves. Constituency will decide about. Say, that's how about the whole body. It will be sealed, signed and sealed.
Hey, I was at the national level.
I don't know the presidential returning officer in this very elections. It's the presidential elections, and that is what the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana says. It's a very historic moment.
Prophetic ministry.
And then it's the very first time you're witnessing this in our body politics. Say, President Akko, and I got for Pamono, and also Eba. There are a lot of Ukofwa, or more contested here, or they have never even gained up to more than 2%. Or up to more than 2%. But then they are still contesting, and this is what it is. It's and then you had to say about the Somo. From beginning to end, from Toho to Oboho, Toho, Oboho. If I'm a Ghana for you, that I just said, you put nearby Ekoso, I Ghana had to say. And I know, sir, for now, no, a very detailed historic background to the way I'm about to talk about. I didn't say the Electoral Commission that provided a certain 18.7 million registered eligible voters are going to be Atuaba and then. Pay. But as to say, all the 18 million people, 80.7 million people, and no ASM. Of course, you call various police centers, and I know, say, yes, Ejumanoba, and for as a line near dear, I'm for the boarded as for the gradually queue near dear.
And then acquire every 4 years.
Every 4 years, ritual. Yes, but I'm looking forward to some few places. Ibehu such a wo. I feel there's a prediction say Mashime Jam NDC for Medoso. Now most likely Yasako Koja NDC ma payidi because about the one shadanja kono bibre this certain government.
No, there be and yet this certain government as some say yen Ghana hano.
Yes.
Yen politics and I say every election year no. Se oye amonyoko na ubaswa o first 4 years no ya na ohu akodo enti ye toma obum na oman no aso wahwe ye so hwe wie na wo san ba bie unyanya 8 years na
ye so mo hwe na that kwakufu ado the first time odincho the second time was ye so hwe third time was ye so hwe and a Ghana for so ne hwe ye and they say that's it.
But the other person can say the young voting party every 8 years biano. We are one kura na udigare botokra. 8 years no swan automatically uhufune. No say ebia hone free but say bianca and to yen shishye bi ni policies bi eko year. Menyi ni senkasa ahufro no ebebaso.
I see.
Na ma resu mfise we say yen what's voting party no wo yabato mu no. NPP for so say kwan bia so on be break 8.
Obeka say the EC conducted the ballot position on the ballot paper na wie no. NPP for CZ say breaking the 8. Omo anka biemu that.
Yeah. Say 8 no go DM hono.
8 no go di according to them the wrong hands. But this is the very first time a certain vice president is contesting a former vice president in our body politics. And yet that's simple. But the will of the Ghanaian people ever prevailing and then. I check within less than 72 hours.
And Chena
that will be this one to the wild.
And JB Dioka me force wa. I think NDC James so who say sa 8 number 8 no a conquer dream breaking the 8 breaking the at point omo say no say ka say ye ka 8 no and sha ebekwati omunti omo so nsha dan ka 8 ni biem omo ye o se unya hu na wo je ballot paper hwehwe chini ye na
yes
o ti ase because omo base na so omo 8 no e de call ma fan because ye was we say breaking the 8 ye what Ghana for adwum no say bi nyo bia na adwum bia say ye ballot say NDC for na abaso enti omo so etumi ye quick ehun say no say ka say ye use 8 no ahwe a ebekwatia enti we 8 hu hia do ballot paper no 8 na jam odaso de nanso omo guso omo emphasize say ukwa hwehwe kire no.
But I like the fact that NDC Yakobotomo who ye pa in these elections. And NPP so conduct who ye pa in these elections. You know why? Campaigns now a course over the years. Starting from last year or earlier this year. You realize that Kasatuche kakra bebu. But I never be ankwa kwaya tebdidie. Kasatuche is different from tebdidie. It's the job and all those somebody course need no e worse obia kan tia de yanko and I refer those people to those words obekaya
JB before me what was no was akaza twetwe ni mu no at point say ye opener at point na other party no na nko mo de sa kasa twetwe ni ba and na other parties as a man respondo and I don't also know say bia a footwo bi course or background say look we should not focus on
because they costed themselves. Obekaya, Abra Kennedy Japan, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Alan Kojo Chabate, going to contest no. Omoke kase bebre e de for mo akasa mo. E ma gara for who say.
Say any dey omo akasa within.
It is so you realize going into the main election, Kennedy or here Japan, I sent a very solid message to the
Yes, because what you can say,
exactly.
And I say, NDC one promo some mobile televisions in Nano. Who share my this year, will bear the witness NDC and Shada and can't one send the brain. A copy and paste. Me can copy and paste a yen someone ye rabaumia or kekaye maybe a chemukoye and one more katibi and one more kesiani ye the near bow on your TV so most of the adverts now was sadly sense maybe and regional chairman NPP Ashanti region chairman to me or also ne kasa ne common bi on one kasa point the TV station so Eddie Gold and who can never etch and also so almost to try. And I know more air sign I watch yourself. Within Western here see a becassa. And before one casa air casa and a Kennedy a compre for Japan time and normal contest. Already a Korean Sam also on himself or you're loud and or Canadian or Fahon say Owaha or Becca Prempero action. I don't can be to Nebia. This time or Gina Simpiasua. No to me, how more to me get it hard because one casa when you cheer, what can wasutia, what can be. Yeah, Chubby, yeah, Boa TV, so evidence based. Oh, what is it?
It's very soon can be another pay. But your media house, and I saw you in the radio or TV station that Kawaka on Facebook, and I said, go for 3.5 everywhere.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is the biggest media platform in Ghana. Onua Abatoɔ Asoeɛ. It's one can call Facebook.
Hana Ghana 18.
Now,
more great trouble here.
And Kojo will tell you that it's just a little thing that the president of the Republic of Ghana is listening and watching us right now.
Because you're white crowd.
But that's mafia.
All right, young Quay. Now, found me, I didn't know.
So, Osha, Electoral Commission ballot statistics are already by for and pay exactly 7 o'clock and Osha. It's 2 minutes after 7. Na Ghana and she said the two abamuno na HSA as I say anye ye kura na samre no ebinum ashasia wamo eto abano. Now of Osha officially no enipa Electoral Commission show wundin say wombeto aba afino eye 18 million. 772,809. Sisani pay enabe yatro mudin yajiatum political parties ni na apene so say we mu ena sese womo eto aba. Na ballot sheet dodo a womo aprinte ballot sheet do yeti amount 19,355,415. The question is, dent in a nipa or macho mudi so metuabano. A year ballot sheet the door so 1 million plus. A door so chain nipa atro unding if so 18,772,809. As I said, we are 18,772,809 ballot papers and your friend sheet, you know. Eti ekoba say and an Electoral Commission operating more than enipa eko akoto abano eyeden. But parties ni na no apene so. Then woba booklet no you would shame 100. If you are take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 99, 100 na asa. And no eye bakomako 175,723. And I say your booklet ready shame 50. And only 19,295. And I say the shame 25. Sheets the booklet no. And you say 19,529. And then the shame 10. And so 33,014. Number of polling stations are Yebeto Aba and Ne Anopenu. Baby Mako 40,975. 40,975. It's a baby a Ghana for Ekobo Chenku Akwakoto Aba edodo no 40,975. So what short time I started Fourth Republic year to about 1992. Enipa kwatu abane was a little above 7 million. 7 million. Na kakra ebi gu akire ene kokoto ye nti say wo de ba beduru ene 2024 de ekira won say de gu akire de kura no edo so chen mra ye sha se ye pese ye to aba eyi emampani na samre ya ye womi enipa bi enu a ye to won so aba yina no obia e vice president da womi enu yina no obia e vice president eda Mahama edi vice president John Dramani and so edi vice president
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also edi vice president vice president
Ando dasudi so
and na dey onka ho
Yeah.
na dey enni nsem biom
I just said to abani.
ade to abani wi
Yes.
and na onya vice president and na Mahama nya vice president
And then there's so that Kwakufu Addo president.
eti said etie eno no
Yes,
yeah sure eti
enti any president wo mamu
ye wo de ohwe akire
You can you want your future, but you're the president.
and you fama number 3
ye wo de ohwe akire eti so we have 18,772,809 and Krofo Atro Omudin, and then don't forget that we have over 40,975 polling stations across the country. And there you be 76 members of parliament. 276 members of parliament. And you be you on ewo ene. MP Bay and a Betiato will start the analysis. I will tell you. I gave you a promise. We gave you a promise that and then you be analysis no you be true. You call regions now. You be true me who say constituency way as we see the be wo ho. Party way at the be wo ho. Party way at the be wo ho. Party way at the be wo ho. So who share the year pa Ashanti region NDC were 4 seats dada.
Yeah.
Ewo ho. Ashanti region ewo 4 NDC ewo 4 seats. Ewo ho dada. Can they add up and I say eso better?
adding up the Emikojo bedding.
You think so?
Yes. And na so tie no so bedding.
It's more likely the NDC
likely.
can
No.
add 1 seat.
Yes, it's more likely.
It's most likely.
There be sabrem pa de say pa de Emikojo say NDC in Ashanti region omo benya seat bako e de akọ omo tre no ho dada de e be yedin.
If they are 1996 they had 5.
It is about just
E be yedin. Say bia I mean presidential there it is possible say bi on betimi penetrate nya vote kakra de oka na say parliamentary Ashanti region Samo Brofu never again no.
Sir, NDC nya 29.2%. They would have another seat.
Yeah.
Maybe not the parliamentary.
Another seat as on the
parliamentary.
Another seat.
Mommy and Betty.
It's likely.
Okay, all right. But I don't think so.
And you said likely.
No.
4 seats, you know, and few ones.
Yeah, I'm training.
But mind you say Ashanti region Air 47 constituency.
Yes.
The last time we were going to contest, they voted for an independent candidate.
Oh, they say MPP.
No, but for now, it's on record. Say one independent parliamentary candidate.
So the MPP lost 5 seats.
The MPP lost 5 seats
in Ashanti region 2020.
And in the money politics of this current Joe Wise. And then the independence and the parliament in our Ashanti region.
But later, we join the NPP.
Fantastic.
Like
Esiaba. Also, the
Forbidden, right?
Forbidden. Now, it is more possible. Share a Diobi. I was just so.
Yeah.
Kwabda, Kwabda lawyer. He nearly lost after said Jokuba Efribu. He nearly lost. At one of the Jadov, but into your last 4 years, he nearly lost. I am telling you, you can check the record. The record, The records are so clear. The records are so clear. It is a okay say. Yefa etu said it is more likely say NPP will lose some seats. Even though
no, me ba mama call Onua Abatoɔ Asoeɛ so na Christian Yelly right over Ahomano so. Hello bro Christian, good morning. Christian, good morning oh.
Good morning.
Yes sir, Onua o kwa share helmet because bibia to me see. Anope ho no mo te saying.
Bibi aboko said ya wokan na wonu say eba Onua a woka mmea yeto aba hoye shepa broadcast me be ka say hotspot na e ka ho be nti just say nipa bebre na hwe kwan said ya Abatoɔ no ebesi akọ ewo Onua ha say nti anope di aba be piem wo ha tisi ame no ka say ye wo Jamestown police station oba Jamestown police station ha say ya police center say wa ha mienu na wo yeti ha ko wani kakra ekro no mu nso bebre na around that you say the police stations have been dotted across even Jamestown as a community and miamia bebre so they say bukom any idea when you no Abatoɔ no ekoso ewo hominia.
Well minim time udru hono and nano pay but then you call all over most of the constituencies you call hono a abra any reporters na kasa no ebinumu ekotena hokoda ho ene from midnight up till now ehwemu a no so aba pa ho sima edu baako time oduru ho no na queues wo ho and ya sha senso a omanfo eto omaba na
me da say ohwemu ha say afei na electoral commission adwumayefo eyiyi nioma no twese bibia betimi ahya ase nipa bebre na ewo ha but queue no enye tenten said they are expected and bebre na anopeya machi de beya na bebre na ababepo chimpu ewo ha say won train say Abatoɔ no be hya ase 7 abononso ahode na so enche bia yenim say dwumadi no Abatoɔ no betumi efra ase wo hwe mechi wona won say nipa bebre na ejina ho a won aye nado aye ahoboa say electoral commission ehye Abatoɔ na ase won nyina beba Abatoɔ aba nti wo hwe ha won say ballot boxes no mienu esi ha wo hwe ho baako ya tre ho parliamentary baako ya tre ho presidential tre ba bia wo to aba no wi a wo de waba no ebeto abibia also ye ne returning officer wa ha say Dominic Andon so edin komo ebisa ne sedia ahoboa electoral commission afemu ahoboa won aye e de hwe se bibia be konkan wa hwe se on aye crowd wo hwe ha ambulance e wa ha say tana me hu from the police unit police for SHN bebre wa ha police for bebre so change na ha kama won hwe se e ba on ahobam bo ho nsem so bia betumi akoye na kama sedia na enti tisi ame ne o ka se de enche bia Abatoɔ ne ba hya se me hu se ye friend profile Abatoɔ voters no akọ one side say they can prepare them na bibia etumi upon kind say dia enti ma me mbomodi na me mfa wo enwura inside ha say na we dia sitie ankasa me hu se electoral commission adwuma e for ankasa so de won are ready to undertake this exercise, which is a very crucial one. It is the election day, and decision making is going to take place right now. And that is study Yedika Kano or the Dio constituency. And then MPR or just to see Vanderpoy on NDC at the new candidate NPP so at the new candidate their new faces we are going to contest this constituency. Now we share said Abatoɔ no after since 2004 NDC for stronghold. They have won the constituency over the years, over the past year. For instance, has been 7 for 3 terms. I feel why not been said on Pese or Bekobio. But you see, this whole area has been cleared. electoral commissioner ejuma ekọ no ebe ye crowd na bon ahye bibia se the medical kai no returning officer no wo hwemu a wa me ya tia se kenkan ka ho wo hwe bukom salaga ene ade no ekọ ye emiamia bi a won ahyeda aye crowd se won eni be kọ hu ye pa because wo hwe edin a amawo ene ade na bebre na northern names enti won akasa ene won ejuma ekọ na akasa se nipa ne ba so oba be ye verification in Adiana, they should let them, they should have that patience to know where they are coming from in their name so that some disparities, a bit to me are resolved. There are some places and need to say one best show ye after the Bayer SMBA into the man and home so far the Bibia the Dia and Chibia Abatoɔ Asoeɛ electoral commissioner for between Asha Sena Abatoɔ no FPC although abono so apa on kakra sima kakra ni.
Yes, the baby odimi see mami Musa wo hwe ya mamra no a e wo se no so pepepe ene ye hye Abatoɔ ase na ya wie no num pepepe na sabre no so abapa ho sima edunum no wo hwe omo a omo ay ready yen voters no ya babeto ya ba ene na ye ya candy for no Who so much as raise consent, shall say treat one say beer or much because ododio don't ye Abatoɔ Asoeɛ beer, or Mrasa ube delay. Moreover, electoral commission no sabe a high and crime, a high yami chrome yoko abacase, quan want to me, I nyaka and tem alpha electoral materials and contem, and can I hear? Enti or much me at chem dientia, lateness no abba.
To be nyasa entiasiane yet from electoral commission for now to the enemy say a year 1 year to about the themselves are very calm actually won't train what shall be now when you look at their demeanor and their body language they are very comfortable I won't train so far there will be in raising concern yet about the fact say into me shall see as of now and to see at the Bibia that the may bomb say Bia meet me a returning officer no Naka Matutuna no Kakra na me bisano to me and share as here as of now in the say have a count Yanina de San Pomono as to why we've not been able to study any whatever explanation that he may have to provide for us. Yes, Dominic Ando, now he is the returning officer for the Electoral Commission for Odododio constituency. Dominic, thanks for joining us. This is Onua, you are TV3. This is Onua. You have seen TSC. Upon on Swampa home, which me am I TSC sent here. Free as is there any challenge or anything of the sort?
I don't think so in TSC because we are talking about only one constitution. But this is we have so many electoral areas. To be required more such for that. It's a house on must start and then we should say about Musa and not be called. Okay. It's a hard end, a shot here, and the whole constitution to have started.
Eti Sadia Midika Ebisa.
Oh, Christian, yada say. Nanka me busa Christian said that. All right.
Study why high police one. There is another polling station, but Bibia Shafio has it. But Mami saying Bisa Bill, Muahum Buano at the same. Looking at the nature of this constituency, and you said about Batwa a higher she pa na a few ways shaven and would go up and a electoral commission.
First and foremost, I'm saying a better police was say that was because
all right, I'm say your network. Na Christian, minim so titrisa na mushia ya mwede brofota taya sano. Ni tri muda hopa pa which say afia bano ya boy ho. Enti odododio do Abatoɔ Asoeɛ so ene ye nua bema Christian edi nkomo free ho. Ye di kan assure mo say ene aba ne to ne kenkan ene ne buboye mu no. Eyo Abatoɔ Asoeɛ trust the process. Ye de munche mum nya abesomum na JB before I be call odododo Abatoɔ Asoeɛ so na ye build point be from Ashanti region ma make key point say edweso like in fact now ni kodwo say maybe
it's more likely
me momu de menyini because aduomi edweso na ne no ordinary compare lawyer no a obewi ni ye after say John Kuma efri mu no Kwabena Boateng, right? Kwabena Boateng, yes. Osha oni aduomi wamo Margin no Nelson.
Lawyer no.
Maybe you will say that at points I was set penifo no enkrofo ebam ebe support na omuwo adiomi pin.
Lawyer no babe kan siso. On the first vice chairman.
Sure.
He wasn't the obvious choice. But at the end of the obvious choice. But losing to John Kumano was a big deal. Losing to Adiomi was a big deal. But because Onua just so when the cases be court.
I mean, so a lawyer, professional lawyer. My learned colleague.
What's that?
Yeah, Twaso.
When the cases be etia go for boy just so. It's that as a kofaya reserved kakra.
Anyway,
I mean, yes, you belong to a family, somebody belongs to another family and stuff. You will say a extended family, a linked up. But the fact that's not because of the fact to say or a member of parliament. Or joining MPP Abayokoro. Then the stronghold of the
NPP, of course.
But Ushemu pa said you but they need that hot man and buy election that go with it. Check results.
Yes, because
check results.
What you say, at points, yourself, me and I'm say yatiti,
check results.
And at point, okay, papa credit komo. I think they will say yabrefone, yen sympathy, they were there. And no munim grounds, the near coco, and a kasahubi, a lot of things. And of course, so I was just one nasa. Oh yeah. But I don't know. Hold it.
Sri Lanka a general elections are, and then by elections are like people was going to lose that particular situation.
Because when say a diomino, wabuan crofo bebre.
Kubawu by elections. And then they see
your friend is simple. Papa.
Baswa. So Kwakudia came in strongly. As an Abiabidia and the Sedibi within that elections.
Yeah.
That already that particular elections, a lot went into it. Ask yourself.
Oh, that's a politics, you cannot say a lot of things go.
Oh, they are a cool factor check. The reality on the grounds. And they say, Kwakudia be the D, F3 the D, and I know what of feels are. Oh. So you see, Ashanti region dynamics no. I started S Saba. Me and then it's here. The Metesa was a much
any possible.
Okay. I am very point.
Yeah.
So Metesa Mutaka Alusu
MPP candidates no.
Metesa Steka Alusu I wish I saw you. No, I'm telling you, no, that's the reality. Because Chairman Adako Jineboye is the longest serving chairman in the Ashanti region. Chairman Jokad were free. So they're not going to have any experienced chairman be able to be those mind you say the former roads and highway minister and the health minister, Dr. Richard Anade, a whole fee. And yet the pair and so the free so can they can be two or rather person assistant and be two. It is a combassa and there say so or because of most station kappa ayem wawa. South America says Sasawase, Sebutaka, Elusu ayem wawa.
Jebu ni bibi. Unim say last 4 years experience a who of parliament and also actually both NDC and MPP for Nyansa because of Seniena Dom Dodro and Nikuma Omonsan Kaye Sikoye no. Enti amo BS Nyansa say me passion meba. Amo BS Nyansa say omon person benya sa experience ni biem.
But you
because MPP for more was BS so they are coming back. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Enti obia make sure say or twama osro no or twama ne ba because say experience no.
BAP sticker or body homody.
But still they will not vote against him.
Exactly the point.
But this, okay,
cover.
Superman. Hello, Solo. Hello, good morning, Solo. Solomon Mensa, good morning.
Hello,
yes, my dear Freddy Ametonka. Who what 10 man Persia Besso?
Tago, say, I'm going to say, more Punk Catamaso.
Bon, all right. Young Quay.
all the way from the United States of Emirates, reporting to us live. Ewo Paul Katabaso, Solomon Abatoɔ Superman, and many more artists. Yeko.
Right, Jamie, Madam I say na Madam ka say when it chemo ewo Paul Katabaso, I say constituency de mo e kamia say asomdwe ewo hanom basabasa ye bia NC ye and next 7th of December Ghana for enyina for more e voters ID card mo nyina ehwe say omo betima Abatoɔ Abatoɔ asomdwe mu. As at 5:30 a.m. and I met him. Ever has a minuka say able to Redwana comprehensive school. And ye baby now 4 polling stations and Yakabum. Ever Bia Bakwa, Ubia Eba, the Bia a year with Nichre says I would to Abano, that with him alcohol, Aqua National Society, ye were Redwana Zenu 7. Ye were Redwana Zenu 8 A and B. And ye were Redwana Zenu 9. These are the 4 polling stations Ewo Redwana School Complex. The EC officials conduct very, very well. Say share the ballot boxes. Now party agent and inspection of all the materials buy. It looks as if said the beer added biometric verification device. Now and one several acquire Bubijano. Any issues with the biometric verification device and nipa omo ebe board on pimo ha say no omo to santele asumdwemu omo nyina ehwe nim say omo betime ato omaba menya one of the presiding officers at the one of the polling stations ono eye Redwana Zenu Atadeka 8B yes 8B chairman botini me kakra na yendin koma so far what would you need to say okay Majesty Atiga we presiding officer ewo Redwana Zenu Atadeka 8B so far nipa say and we expect to say on babetu aba ewo ha
for now you're expecting for 490
hello
490 tago
yes hello sir what you kan odaro ma say awia da mo so kakranti
okay
thank you enti yeguso a ye hwe say Solomon Mensa the Superman ye ne no ebedi enkomo nyame adom wa Solomon Amankwa sorry Amankwa Solomon Superman no ono na many more artists woda omunyina ano ene or report live from Tema enti katamanso ene wasabre solo why crowd yan samra biem all right nti onyamae nti JB na okasa
so Zena Medika Kaido, you have Paul Katabaso there, but
sure.
We have come to the crossroad where, as I say, every Ghanaian voter is descending. It's year 2 about year 2. Either a year EDCSM, either a year PPS, will be 2 good, year will be a 2 did as a 4. See, I will be a 2 about we are going to vote based on policies and programs laid down for us. Yasha Baye. It is a once a suba, may house a baby to the Abadi about. So, maybe talk about what share so.
Sticker your MP.
Yes, the kind of MP. The China MP.
Movie director.
Say we lose to see vote back home.
We lose to vote.
Movie director.
You see?
No.
Last 4 years. Last 4 years we took baro.
Yeah, sure. So
can say the me short and cafe the man.
Oh, but what disappointed me big time.
So
no, my old MP fought with me on radio because we decided to say you leave it over 7 Akwakosi said, and it was like tell me you leave it no the parliament.
okay,
you be telling
if I were to trim yakwa animu kakra ebebusaw constituency by na Onua group yetena say aye cover election 2024 ye frɛ obi ma ne ka ho asɛm kane e odododio fa no to trim cause odododio 1951 na ehɔ na Kwame Nkrumah enwene sa city no.
okay.
Kwame Nkrumah winning sa city because penny ana ye friend no would I be allowed to say this? Aden Clark no be ye amrado e wo Ghana ha no na our secretary be ye friend Erica Powell.
Okay.
Mami Broni secretary na aye wu say papa no ne abaya no twempena ba Kwame Nkrumah gini fi nsem
Alquarido.
And the sad and a shas yache.
Me say ogini fi nsem
E wo Kwame so je say
it's February 1951 na Ghana ekoto aba edikan yeyim na chebedwafo no na seat ni na no 38 and the CPP famu makomako 34 CPP winning 34
Naka just 4
Naka 4 and the UGCC winning 3
Naka 1
and an independent candidate bako eba in the Fourth Republic no first independent candidate Eya Hawa Yakubu ewa Tamale Boku Central Tifedo 2-3 na abaya no emra omu se one Kwame Bopa
no ye slim ada
slim
no ye kokko kakra
o se bruni
no o height kakra
na we Erika na
Ekako taste
na Erika nsheda nwa
no nsheda
nwa ono so a onye tia
okay
ena osanso ye kokko ena na oye abaya oye bruni ana tonya flat
oh kakra wo
na owoto
o sisifia kakra
na owoto kakra owoto sewa na owoto kakra and the very first time to aba broni echo round a particular constituency checking the Ghana parliamentary candidate binya Erika Powell na ohwehwe de Kwame Nkrumah it was at that time na Kwame Nkrumah nsheda ni efie
yes
na asa ya born dwa baby eti Erika oye Aden Clark the official private secretary no on na edim ana ohwese osagefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah be woni ma me ne kwasra Kwame Nkrumah was prison 7 times.
Oh, I see. Before the election.
Yes, Okosra Kwame Nkrumah 7 times. And it's unconfirmed. Say edu baby no o shatade te se bema. I was Kwame Nkrumah yam fana ntu baby na domo nyina da bebre no. Omo de to dan back. It is believed to say ma me no ene Kwame Nkrumah akoda Kwame Nkrumah nche o prison.
Oh, really? I see.
Your friend Erika Powell, who Google a wo be hu no. Sama me Erika Powell no. Emra omo hu say hey say no ne Kwame Nkrumah eye no omo wo ne tiko.
So
omo pamo no free Ghana ha.
So ko de kro.
Onko de kro. Eti omo de ko interest abrochire. Kwame Nkrumah winning election pe na kofa ne bae.
That day.
Because you uni bibi mi pastor we de wadaroma so bodu emu kakra. Yenko Electoral Commission wonum headquarters na fe senior hobo city e wo ho because honum nko anu mo engine room. Ya sha Abatoɔ nyina se om na mayete engine room akire bre ko nani mo an yehu se other political parties no bi so seti bi ena media houses so seti bi na agya nyina obi anya na engine room adaroma enti Timo good morning kwaku entry o2 ewo ahomano so from Electoral Commission wonum headquarters Timo so atimi kan on mute ho na eni nkomo good morning bio Timo, unmute yourself and let's talk.
Allah,
what's it? Hello, Timo, good morning, Bill.
Bye, come from
Timo.
Oh, mine, because you're transforming.
January 1955. Now, Kwame Nkrumah say, hey, Powell, baby, I will be ano. Remember what's about Ghana. Don't forget, say Kwame Nkrumah be Ghana. No, need score the better plane ticket.
Take it, yeah.
Eti eye UGCC mpanifo kakra titrunzimafo a omuwo no papa bakwa no wa exam referee di ni sesi a won na park grant won na didi mutintiman eto ticket ba Kwame Nkrumah bedu Ghana Kwame Nkrumah bedu Ghana no na sika hye ne bottom ye £5
yeah £5 yeah sometimes na che na jiska kese bia
Kwame Nkrumah bedu Ghana no na sika Gold Coast no na sika hye ne bottom £5 fansa na 50 Ghana now fear brutre abedru Ghana na £50 50 cedis
that was a big deal
and na a show bottom eti Kwame Nkrumah ebedru ye no what he did was that or charter taxi that is why the very first place where Ghana had nyina ye taxi rank odododo constituency
oh okay
the very first place where Ghana taxi rank about Ghana odododo enti mra ye Ghana ye free nifa Akobunkum no odododio that was where officially we launched it.
What happened?
What happened was that Kwame Nkrumah offer taxi or chatai. But now driver didn't wine buy no. Now Oje Kwame Nkrumah £7.
I was not kind of £5.
No, so I kind of £5.
Hey,
any sika. And don't forget, say, £7 no Kwame Nkrumah did 7 years work on so. I don't 2 3. The baby can't send me £7. I'm getting emotional. Kwame did 7 years.
Money.
Akunya so. It's Kwame by 1955 January. No, say Debbie Erica Powell. Tokrubia Wishemu UKBia Mesando Wabagana. Or the Obani be Ghana 10 years. And Alhaji Sinari.
Yeah.
Alhaji Sinari. Ne papa no ye soldier ni. Na papa no ware Egyptian. Eti edu time omo kwa kope oba Abra Kwame Nkrumah na ware no. Ombusa de say kewo. We are sure say power beko.
Power dey no osade ne buy no. O dey bet me do we dey do yakobo. Na competence and na say the
obeye position na power. Ekuta time na say Aden Clark. Ewo ho a omo won the tikokoi no. Kwame Nkrumah dey buy the same position obe hold the
competence.
Whatever it is at the presidency.
But no, I mean
whatever it is at the presidency. Obe hold the same position. Eti Alhaji Sinari papa. Ebisan say we are sure. Sir Power Boko. Because Power was very close to Kwame Nkrumah.
Very influential.
Very close. Very close to Kwame Nkrumah. Eti Oko there no ye greater AMA boss na body.
Oko Vanderpoint.
Oko Vanderpoint.
Yeah. Yeah, Oko Vanderpoint.
Oko Vanderpoint.
Yeah.
When you say Kwame Nkrumah ni Oko Vanderpoint na trempena.
Kwame ya.
Yes.
Kwame ya.
Yeah. And the very first time there was a fight between women on a politician in this country was between Powell Bruni and Oko Vanderpoint Nana.
Now if you broche the Ghana dey ba tripla.
Senwa. Eti ebeye nsembebri. But Erica Powell ebedi Ghana. Erica Powell bedi Ghana 10 years. Erica Powell free Ghana no wanko UK.
Wow.
Oko US.
Wow.
Oko US straight and Okoye Ekokoye but odododio constituency. This is not the first time. Kwame Nkrumah time no a delay 2 hours no want to aba. Because that time the UGCC fofi say Kwame Nkrumah fi omumu.
Yeah.
Or your UGCC ni ebeye UP, ebeye MPP. Kwame Nkrumah UGCC ni and we free omumu oko. Nti a day and oko so nti no more born mafia because no near around they have forgotten say na Power were around. It's a delay 2 solid hours and from 1951 basing the election year be ni wa odododio ato aba 7 a.m. da check the records. In 1992 odododio ato aba 45 minutes after 7. Our 3rd November 1992. 1996 7 December odododio to about 1 hour after. And then in 2000 first one odododio to about 2 hours after, repeating Kwame Nkrumah's time 2 hours and so odododio ato aba and no. And the first Abatoɔ Muntokwa, it's a constituency. That was the first round of the 2000.
We are enjoying the history and the background. Udin Bibi, because Joe Yanko Clote Kole Abatoɔ Mpesia so Enyonam.
That was also part of Nkrumah's.
Hello, Enyonam F1.
Yeah.
Enyonam, what's it make? Good morning. Eyana mpacho ya na wa mute ho na fe yetimi edi nkomo e wo Onua TV so enyonam reporter wo Clote Kole Abatoɔ Mpesia so e wo Enkran is Nato Rollins the constituency right enyonam thank you so much pacho wo Clote Kole Abatoɔ Mpesia so e hod mo te se wadaroma
asiti ame wo YMCA police station I wo Clote Kole ben cathedral asori no. And see, I must start almost to about almost at 7 o'clock on the dot. First person now or 2, you know. What two are we? What two are we? Nasisiano, nkrofo na me de omo me beto omo anu at 6 no omo nyina kwa line e movie quickly.
So far unim enipa dodo a omo e wo so omo vote ene.
Yes, Hanomo expect 735 voters were YAM, MCA Hanomo, both a man and Mema.
And who both NDC MP, our Sanso Ejinebio, and the Osanso Ejinem Ewo MPP, Amu, could one woman be Ewo, baby, I want so much for.
Patron, only now one MPP pull party agents were Hanomo, NDC party agents, don't meet Hanomo de Ubia or Hanomo, and Sawantawa Basabasabia, NC one police back over Hanoma or Shebibia so. Vote in Elko, mostly, Safra. So
far, some who so be a she party t shirt be our
the BCC, the Obia and she NPP and NDC and Obia party shirt were Hanomo, Obia she neutral. Almost party almost support one almost to a banner no more almost yepe campaign be our Hanomo.
Okay, a quick one. Bible host to say as it starts now. Bible host to say as it starts now collect cloth baby ojidano.
Just say baby amijano there a very peaceful. But the baby ame ko nothing na maybe hu Hanomo. It's me coffee tiano me ko Adabraka.
Okay.
Access a Honomo Namasako, Osuka so Honomo. By a Hanomo, British High Commissioner, the air Beshe, and Yama El Coswano, or Ben Shote, peace now, Omo Kawa Sema Omo de Bruno. Ye ensure Hanomo. In see by 8 o'clock now, Wabedru Hanomo, 9 in Aka.
Security presence, El Honomo at say, maybe I would just see a security presence.
Patros Sadia, police new back Hanoma. Or share Yamanes Susia Wahano.
Oh, yeah, armed police officer. And I say
police officer.
Yeah, I mean,
police officer and Casa.
But some people say, oh, yeah, armed. And also, Ukuta to be Okuta could be.
There be patrol, to be.
Okay. And before no what to Sancho Kakoto Abano, Oshamu reaction that to say, oh, why a moody kakra, and I say, a who kakra ubu, and I say, Ubi a free the Kakoto Naba.
I shall say.
Let me be say. Before now, omo edi esantri mo omo kwakoto abano omo ehubi da omo so ana omo e free omo kwakoto omo aba ehubi ana omo so.
Oh, omo nyina ye free nti me ne first time voter ba ko din tita ho. E no se ono ba ha no mo be 540. No ba no wato na aba anani age say for the first time ono so kan ko for no ho a omo be ye decision amakro ha no mo nti ono so ka ho a omo be decide why Obedi president and then the parliamentary candidates were Hanomo. It is so far Obia and Yaji. So, and yes, Omudi.
And why are the seats of the former president in the back, Zenato Rollins? And I don't pay Oko a woman who Honomo, the president said what to say.
Achonyam Mae, Matisse Obeba Abeto, but ye Nechi, but he said, Unyam Mae, but Oba, the better nature.
All right.
Enyonam yedase papa ewo wamane bawdi free kole clote abaton pesia so ewo enkran mante mu hadmonti de besi bia no as usual ya na wama yaso ate se breaking news bi ba yeso se was standby ewo studio ha because you besa ba hobium na o mind history and the background
something happened time a omokofa Fatia Nkrumah eba Ghana na Kwame Nkrumah si baby ani
friend Fatia bae
Fatia Nkrumah nipa okofa ne bae Alhaji Sinari ne papa
the date okofa ne bae
Kwame Nkrumah had 7 broken hearts men can broken heart mama komako enso eba Kwame Nkrumah life mu ina no obi enu hotumi ebo Kwame Nkrumah
including 31 steps
including 31 steps e was Saltport obama no entimi amwa no Kwame Nkrumah ene Emma Bako mienu miensa e wa Ashanti region wentimi anware entimi anyeyi then he came to Accra and obesha Okovandapoy and he said unya te se CPP ni pani bia e friend no organize vani na Vandapoy it unya te se CPP from pani for the can organizer it was na ma me no ho fe oyenkrani ba ne ho fe very beautiful, very, very, extremely beautiful.
I see.
But a do baby no.
No, for me.
Well done, what for chair anyway.
Why
done what for chair? I mean, she was very, very beautiful. And
I see.
It's a Kwame Nkrumah war photographer bi or software. A friend Reverend something. I've forgotten the name. My interview in Wahada.
Oh, okay.
Or Kwame Nkrumah picture. Onone Hesi. Or photo Kwame Nkrumah ne Okovanda point na. Ewum. Na time na omko fa Fatia bae no. Fatia anko Kwame Nkrumah Chen Street. Only 3 days. Awal Haji scenario. Ne maame ne papa fie. Awo jongolo.
Okay.
Eti woman ne trust na omo kire no sede Ghana because Fatia and Timrofo on tree.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Egyptian.
Or Egyptian kasa ne nko.
Yeah, Arab. Yeah.
And Alhaji scenario maame ono so Egyptian.
Oh, okay.
Typical 100%.
So that's what I said.
My question maame ne da. Or that yase onwu when you pa. Ohu anim se se obeka oda ache ache.
Really?
Alhaji scenario mami.
Yeah, but
ohu wanim sese ya wo hwe wanim ana wa start cancer.
Wow.
Now, Kwame Nkrumah, o me de Fatia ba no kodi 3 days ho. Ba woni bibi esi ye. Na Kwame Nkrumah de Erica Powell. Baby and your friend moving pick no. Erica Powell also she moving pick.
No, yeah there ho.
No ho.
Allah wallahi. It is your social.
Na Erica wo Paul. That is why moving pick.
I see.
Time now na ambassador hotel first no.
Yes.
And you want the power ward no. Sir, a super first, second, third no. Near friend the power ward.
I see.
Kwame Nkrumah shada de eho eto Erica Powell.
Interesting.
Eti no mpenifo sigunwa ene broni ba ne kasae. Manete ne ho asese Nkrumah is an African.
Okay.
He needs an African. And baby, Adiane Kono, they needed a political marriage for him. And as a sort of
to say that I don't want
and so there was a proper understanding, settlement, and everything. And the woman was so nice, Power was so nice. She understood the process. And
you
know, he wished Nkrumah well and said that on him say. So I me wo bibia ma me no troye about Nkrumah. I have it. Unfortunately, let me say we be diso manaba come de buy.
I see.
She wrote a 3-page letter to Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and I have a copy of that letter. Papa bi obi on a debre me or the Nkrumah books in there maybe can one debre me. Powell Krata Erica Powell Krata na otroye no. Me wo copy.
Oh,
and she stated that forever in my heart, I will love you till my bones rot.
Okay, so no outro farewell message.
Okoye, and outro Kwame Nkrumah.
Out of broken heart and
I don't know. No, catch and say, forever in my heart, I will love you until my bones rot.
Wow.
And it is believed that Fatia was always never comfortable anytime Kwame Nkrumah called London. I know Alhaji Sinari Papa and Mamini beat me actually.
Fatia is an African,
and she was not comfortable anytime under Kwame Nkrumah
because she
called London. Now something happened. Kole Krote, Nenya constituency. Neka odudu.
Okay.
Something happened over there. Now was Santini or your friend J. Chum. Or you're one of the people or Sergeant for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Now or the body part from Ashanti region. J. Chum was the one giving him information. And a Godwin, the personal bodyguard, who shared the picture via Kwame Nkrumah as with the car who share political suit.
Yeah.
Apparently, a friend Gordon or Yagbini.
Oh, okay.
So he was giving him information. Our voter region, and J. Chum was giving him information from Ashanti region, so that Kwame Nkrumah will be able to manage himself so well. Now that time, Nana Kole Klote, There was this lady, Anna Oye Okovandapoy, ne na Kwame Oye Kwame Nkrumah down for the Mamen Kanisa. Na Oye na down for no. She was very fair and slim and short. She had also wanted to contest, and then she was asked to forever stay away. I am not surprised that Senator Rawlings is fair, not tall. Na Osanso Ejina Kole Klote. If you watch it carefully, in 1951, when that election was conducted, a Kokoa, a war, a year greater crying na a shemu, Emma Kwame Nkrumah, even though Kwame Nkrumah was not around, or a man in another Koko, led by Okovandapoy, Nena Nabano.
Now, what is it about fair women and dark men?
I cannot tell, but okay, Nkrumah Memwabia or Troye 1958. A year after say Ghana G independence now. Okasai say Onua Abatoɔ Asoeɛ. Men can be you. Coming. Good morning.
Abatoɔ Asoeɛ no.
Also who be that?
Ni hu ye fi said dienya.
What did tuntum na beko? What the kokɔ ne bodama? Wo be di fi be ye ohun wa tuntum.
That so, tuntum.
That be we tuntum.
Abatoɔ.
Oh Africa ha. Ebroni ko kokɔ na tibi bodama hu so dan kokɔ. Na wo abodam wo hey choko gotem. That's wo ye kokɔ be ko so ye kokɔ hu be tum. So that's a do for you. There's another thing about do in 2004 and all the others.
But the Horrible seems to be a hot spot. Anytime
it has always been a hot spot.
Yes.
It's in a Mabo presiding officer, Emma Kwame Nkrumah. Emma Koko for the press conference. No, Umu Jaye. I am yes, JB Dankwan Tiase. Kobe ya no amount.
Oh, I see.
A man of Gra, Nipana no Abatoɔ so. That they want Kwame to win.
Just because.
And nobody should change that verdict.
I see.
Because young Western North, Emra Sesia. Emmanuel Soa, baby, I will be a Yasanso Emwachibio.
Many about Medoso.
Meda say, after young na Yera Samson, and he impressed so and our baby, I did not.
Me aba me no say baby me gine your friend has a after it and wo job body about one pesua so they do kan say honorable Samson hi and ye MP wo ha no anopa na me gina body krom then so and then baby me gine ya afere so be piem afere a ka me say ahomkeka aferefo e de koto aba no e wo so ese ye body krom fo na ankasa Kuwe piemu aferi a chese enura ahomache na manfo cha say omoba police centers and police station a omode moba ebeye ye fresh studio say we di line so nanso eno na ntimi anya adwuma amanfo ba he no ohu yi moba ne fi ho ebe san line papa me no ka say die about 7:8 am ena nipa we di kan eto na ba awo sahwi aferi police station ya Mijano, ubetimi ehu se edom egu ha omu nyina aye iga se omopese omoto omaba enti se wo hwa ha e police station be bia mijina police stations ni ye two wo hwa line no ten ena omudi so a ne nyina ne se omobehwe na omatimi ato aba yesi police station no ye cocoa shell wa ena ache se edom no ejina se omoba beto aba ye hwe se yebetimi eni omubi adi nkoma na ebi so omo se ebrebe na omutimi ba so omo beto aba nti ye hwese yebetimi anya ebi na ye ne omadi nkoma minia ye ma wakwa eba Onua Abatoɔ Asoeɛ so so minia wararoma waba police station a wo ba beto waba ebrebe na wo ba bedu ha
but me ba 5 o'clock wetimi ato waba de that me nya to ye
line no wo to so dodo osen
na no ya me to so best I can say best 20. Okay, be more
okay. Nti enu so ye. Nti we the line so how to so be 20. Okay. That's how better aba no we just ready.
Yes.
Okay. Martin. Ya better as ya hwe me ni aba ya hwe se be say nya ni pa fro na ye ni na di nkoma. ne ahwɛ sɛ ɔmotɔ line no so dodoɔ sɛ ɛsɛ amene ka sɛ deɛ bɛyɛ nipa bɛɛ 10 deɛ ɔmatumi ato ɔma ba wi a ɔmo kɔfie yɛhwɛ maame yɛmɔ akyemba wɔ nua so wadaroma wotɔ so bɛɛ line wotɔ so nipa bɛɛ dodoɔ sɛ wontimi ba wohwɛ nipa dodoɔ sɛ na atumi ato nipa bɛyɛ 30 woba bɛyɛ bere bɛn 7 o'clock okay and she says that this if you wohwɛ mfoni na kyɛ sɛ line no wa ten we nya line ba ko pɛ lines no to aso bɛyɛ miensa ebi nso ɔmo hwɛ enu ɔmo so nti ka kwan no so na ɔmo gyina edi ɔmo agro edi ɔmo nkɔmɔ kakra and wo hwɛ a line no deɛ tɔ so mienu na camera ne da so no ni nyina kyɛ sɛ bodi ana afɛrifoɔ ayɛ ready sɛ ɔmo bɛto aba na ɔmo yi panyinipa a ɔmo susu sɛ ɔbɛba bɛdi Ghana so na Ghana timi akɔ n'anim wohwɛ police officers no ma hu sɛ mienu ɛna wɔ police station ha ɛsɛ police station no ɛyɛ mienu ɛna wɔ ha nti ɔma ma ɔmo police officers mako mienu anɔpa midika ka sɛ wobabɔ di abatɔ so a mpɛsua so a nipa dodo a ɔsɛ ɔmo to aba ɛyɛ nipa 35,002 police station no ɛyɛ 80 ɛna ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmutimi ɛto aba ɛwɔ saa centers ahodoɔ nti so far so good ube bi mu afɛre there and they are eager to vote and vote massively say ɔmbɛnya good leader ama ɔmo atimi ayɛ den abɛdi ɔman no so enti mini aba obi same a sɛn na kodi abatoɔ mpɛsua so ɛte anɔpɛ
yɛbɛda ase Emmanuel Sowa wɔ amaneba odi efri Western North abɛsomye ne anɔpɛ ɛwɔ Abatoɔ Asoeɛ ɛso yabusie gu so ɛso yɛn yɛahyɛaseɛ ahomache anɔpa nonsian yɛtimo akosi sɛ prɛmo ɛbɛto entitena ha no mo a woni yɛntena Facebook no mo hyɛ mo adwen wɔ so de ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ baabia wo feel sɛ wo sɛ Ghana ni ehu Ghana fo ɛte no ya na wa ma yaso atibi na yesoso ya bomu kaseɛ ɛde akyerɛ wiase ɛne amansan because jo
mami we call it clotte you kakra depending on the election results or do know I'll tell you another thing. Don't forget sir Mampeni Dada Rawlings the first child Senator Rawlings. Now in the Fourth Republic ono pe any Mampeni bi a wadi akonya eba wa context the elections. Member of Parliament. You were on the 1st June 1978.
Okay.
Now, Senator Rawlings, of course, could be a Lyceum or whatever. North Ridge, now, this is what happened. If you want don't forget the Rawlings Kwachimota.
Yeah.
Into Manabana Kwachimota. If you want to know Wesley Girls.
Wesley.
A school, I think somewhere around 1996, thereabout. Yeah, it's or call Wesley Girls and Okowie School. Now watch this. Rawlings says the net of Bekaya 10 years and Papa Beko Wesley Girls or Beko question. Now Rawlings question about 5 times. The entire period at the Badiko School.
Okay.
10 years Beko be an answer catcher the band says study hard and get prepared.
Study hard.
Obi was the natural number beyond upon friend no Musano. Rawlings kept telling Zenato, study hard and get prepared. Don't forget the Rawlings is a coup, June 4th.
Yes.
No person could yes Saku who the bad Zenato date of birth was 1979 because Zenato was born on 1978 1st June. But Boachijan.
Okay.
Osahine Boachijan.
Yes.
Ebe man Rawlings information. That is why he kept saying say cool na Rawlings in him hoshi.
Yeah.
But na ye no ono kofa kotiko ade betena so. He had wanted Sekaku nebe ye what the baz Zenato na kwala nebe di 1 year on the 1st of June 1979. So Rawlings wanted the coup on the 1st of June 1979. But they had an intel say as a twate.
Oh, okay.
To almost interest to 2nd June. Almost interest to 3rd June. And then on the 4th June 1979. A year and 4 days of Senator Rawlings's. The time I will be due assassin so. Nane papa year 79 coup no. Yes, or be Ghana Mampeni. The debut your catcher and the debut your costa no school your catcher and says study hard and get prepared. And the answer Napo ekwakoto
Besha South.
Okwakoto naba.
Lomo tenye.
And Senapoto a ebe repeat 2008.
Yeah.
And in 1996. Oh yeah, the first presidential candidate Onua Aba. John Dramani Mahama.
Okay. But I heard also so that O2 for Tonaba.
Also 2 for Tonaba.
Yes.
1996. Yeah. And so it repeated the home. Now the then Abaya Otesono ne president and running mate Professor John Fifi at Mills Ekokoto Naba only nipa odi kan eto naba otuye no 2000
be sure say
it's position
yedi chire be quiet because I'm hearing say there are interested name ekoso be quiet me abidia lawyer Raf adu say yes a horrible I am told to say never be break so this producer bet me I get it to
all right. I would have said Napoya the first vice presidential candidate of the two leading political parties are ordering a nickname a free actually a running mate.
Oh, I see.
I don't know one nickname.
I'm told to say Napoleon the initials.
But the nickname.
The nickname.
That's
okay.
right.
Okay.
And nickname. Onope.
But also how does a woo share Wakasako media station I will here. Check your Facebook. Now here conform over here. There you have to compare the no. Now here numbers no. We are who they are credible, and then they are credible.
In 2000, on hine ben a dikan to aba o Ghana ha as a himfuni na ekoto.
A near quiz. No question about.
Question. 2000 elections, the first round no. 2000 elections no. On hine bi o Ghana ha or no. And then your first question no yes question no. About 8. On hine bi and a to aba kane o Ghana ha in 2000. On hine ben ya.
You bet me answer that.
Won't count. More count. To those of you on Facebook, Bomodiana Bra Facebook na fe Metro or Hinebe and a tona bakane in 2000. Ghana ha.
Yara Babeko, I hope I saw that Medebidia Chubosi Aquedi Kobo. Edgy, what's a make up watching Abo by the bar Uria TV? Bibi Abokodia. Good. And I don't pay for the idea that cost so horrible. Abatoɔ no just start so horrible. I mean, horrible for the train.
Let me say, you know, because we were from 2020. I want to no pay year bar pro. Now I share Abatoɔ no send me basic accord. I say, send me a video to me. Abua more man phone so eta kwenya ato wɔnom aba. Na jebi ube piemu ase a. Mamini kan fa ha man bo enchel no. For constituency no me wo bia ye fɛ so below station ase a ye gyina mpempe no ye wo polling station miɛnsa ɛna wa ye 1 2 and 3 na ubedu a bɛ anopa bɛ nonso aba pound ma bɛ di enum hɔ ɛna polling station 2 1 ɛhyɛ but other polling station na there were some small challenges here or na also mo resolve atwetwe kakra filling forms ni ade bi delay wɔn kakra. And no chance no mutini as at the other two stations no man tini as at exactly 7 no. But the first station and also be 10 minutes past 7 and no mutini a shark here. But don't have polling station and someone the third one had a serious challenge and pay because of a ballot box no so cat on the bay man no more than a parliamentary the na enya mai a neat box so they have to call district officer and now monfa and no man san no mutini asho mo de na tinti hono so emanu e delay kakra e hono mo a ne no ye challenge kakra e de ma wono so far ye hwese ne process ne kono o ma chance e o mo e to akonya ba da dawa wono mu guso a wono e to e wa ha sei na wo hwe senia o mu dina gira hono a de mi uba problem ba ko mo e hia ye nkonya wono betra so electoral officers no e nkede ni nkonya wono betumi atna so e wa ha sei edimo e gira hono mo a eno mo de eye adwuma nti akoye o ha kakra e de ama wo mo afia nsa na mpanimfo ahwe a wo mo boten e de ama mo se be ya no a atake e Jerry
Mesro Babija ti ase ye electoral commissioners omo ye adwuma no edi nkodwo obo te so
Jerry, there is not enough chair on better so at the point they have to bring them a bench normal chat so since woman your provision here and farmer one LRCA a bimo agent now money as we shall see a bimo at the bench so almost the no residents and abua.
Hey, I see. But Babo who said to say I will for you to speak, especially police station now with Jano.
Yeah, you see them place omudne jawa omode but him as bredo make me akọ so gina ho attitude personal ayes agina race if you know your challenge back one no e ka ho asem e wa ba so far we ni fi ho a e be ka se bibia gusu a e kọ so wano a na me bomoden se me ne first time voters ni bi e be din komo a lady back o be to e ono na afi no woto aba ni bi and or 2 years no the interesting part is we na we fit to be to parliament no jingu ja okra akọ na almost
I see. That you to make up assistance now. Babo who said to say our police station Ujira and that what we identify any of these parliamentary candidates because we say a honorable Minister of Foreign yes, what to make up? Yes, good. But we say Oforikrom, Mike Edu, honorable, the NDC parliamentary candidates, and of course, Afrafranto, SSO, candidates were honorable. With a contest, Babo, what is SMS to say, and parliamentary candidates for Obia, honorable, who be the one another pay.
There is a metunka here, Obusasa, Omunina, or Arana, no pay.
Yes, parliamentary aspirants, no, Obuida, honorable, that pay, and a Babo, who said to say, oh, baby, Ujinado.
David Brebions or Lani Bitty.
Say, what's the recovery? Bisa say, Bambo who said to say, and that'll pay, I will be Ujinado.
Jerry Bambo who said, the Becca said, Bidia Edana Quem, Kama Pa, I hear who are police for Ewa Hase, and our prison officers in Soha, one also, Air Ama Bibia to me upon Kai Ewa Hase. Bambo, the Becca said, Bidia is intact, will be any problem there without the security issue Ewa Hase. Bibia etimi ekoso na minya bay no first time voter na membusa na experience am pay wo bra wo ba beto aba no say na we experience akonya e say oh but the process
yeah
anopem we need the detail to aba right na otu ye mi say edu ba bi na say o ko ansa na self court beto parliament now need the timi no na
na minimba na my confused yeah
or na you confused
yeah no my yes confused
okay but what you are going to actually
yeah
okay then I want you to say this time appear this time I was about when you are good
yeah
then how can
yeah me can say me go to say yeah me taba man no Anona obey.
Okay. Tijebi, you are balanced so FPR now, or no, so I didn't understand actually. But there's 1 month for them to buy no challenge crap. At the point now, more verify no any or call on and start by Emma Mode, normal papa and soon and not any in the do no some manual verification now when you are a photo about Uba Operikum coincidence, Yajebi, polling station, a year 241. And no more extra fine say one extra abayi ewoso and we no edanti there but 115,240 something now more extra say on between about to aba ewo polling stations ahodo mu ewo Forukom constituency ase ya say na wadi san no bamba won sem de bibia ye okay ewo ase ya apart from anopa no polling station ba so na mo baby amaba so far no omo ballot papers no parliament ni de ne mind there yenya problem bia bibia e so ekoso ewo Forukom a so bolo aloga station polling centers ni ansa so far magazine no bibia gu so ekoso
and I pay what's your Mike Edu honorable and I say the independent parliamentary candidates aspirants and I say the NDC parliamentary aspirants what's your be your
anope baby am go dey nyen shia me say by honest ebe ko bra ebe bo afro dey ebe kwa kushia na ye no mo so edi nkomo say no di kan kan the parliamentary candidate yen sa one from MPP Michael Edi and NDC Sadat Awel and a independent candidate from the camp of Movement for Change. Onua Benjamin Afani, one of them for parliamentary seat, as well. Yen to a fresh candidate, the former candidate, a parliamentary candidate, Onua Emmanuel Marco, Nyadi or Kobe, who be a who or chance to be a unit parliamentary seat, from Abatoɔ Asoeɛ.
All right, and to Abidasi, now for the children before now. Abadebi o hobi ada dia bread ada pay ewo odia TV odia 95.1. Me da say etwo bosi ako. Eda. Oh, you Pentecost eda.
Oh, 7.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, papa.
Yes. Ofori Crew.
And I'm actually I can say watching football frequently is a waste of time. That's right.
Yes.
That's an abaya kokobi kuta a champagne glass in the I can show you to a fear.
Oh,
that's when he said this.
Oh, I see.
Hey.
Aha.
I see.
That's right. I have the picture. I'm keeping it. Keeping that picture.
Now, Ibono Labakwa, MPP annex. MPP annex.
But don't forget, say, Enchena Pobeto Naba.
Okay.
Jaminsa, EC boss, so I could do the constituency. Napo, Vice President. No, MPP flag bearer. Baumia, honestly.
Wale.
Honestly, so that's Jane Mensah over there.
Adukwe Mensah, what's that baby? Yeah, what's that baby?
Oko, the office, and that's the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Kamano Befumo. Dr. Mahamadou Baumia.
All right, so
now part to Naberi.
Oh, I see.
So, hey,
Elvis House.
Hey.
What does Beshia Horba? I don't know.
1996 is repeating itself. 2000 is playing off.
Background.
Every before you were last one, Napoka Sai.
There you are, sir.
I didn't try.
Well, that's
I didn't try.
Yeah. Because I won't pass it via.
Oh, yeah, sure, I won't pass it via.
Well, I don't care because about Casa would say they campaign over the few months.
I thought I said me question I made Danya Miase for my retentive memory.
Yeah.
I think I owe God something, and something happened in 2000 general elections.
Okay.
A vice presidential candidate, any opportunity and kasa. Or in the party in the opposition.
Really?
Yes. In the party in the opposition.
But President Kufuor
MPP rally biya President Kufuor kasa yali umama kasada.
Debut.
Okay. But they can once a mature. So na part to abewie isi boss so ko office. Baumia so edu ne constituency a polling station also. Ekwakoto aba. Je, mami ja na Fatimo.
All right, so media Tibo headquarters of the Electoral Commission. Tibo Timeka Mwakwaba Ediba Oria 95.1 Oria TV. Bibia wako there. Tibo Timeka. All right, so you say Sabeka Yedia Timothy da afi on the boy the Electoral Commission headquarters said they are prayer that pay. Abra, you started in Komoya. Exactly what is happening about the Electoral Commission and updates via what will be so on the memory. TF say yes, I'm to go back on the line after you did Kobo. That was a quick update from the Electoral Commission. To say the only kaka say Jane Mesa about office. I think it's the only.
Mama the other fashion is sumayen. Started throw. Started throw or answer no. A year on Hennebain and the Wagana had 2000 Odi can't to aba. And then so we monitor giddy. On Henneby obedi can't to aba caneno Yabama was what on Hennebain and a Wagana ha Odi can't to about 2000 general elections. About to quiz no ho and Chebe pay the better swamau. Now started efa a year wo ancestors no ebra 2000 on hini bi eto abakane ewo Ghana ha ayatro region
region
wo de tro region no na say and now unimo hini na
because oka sentimental de weka say kokudia
be and say nya sentimental in 2000 nya sentimental ti
kokudia
be sentimental. Me papa Penibia sending me message say you still do not forget the stories. I say yes, I don't forget the stories. Every constituency, all the 276 constituencies in Ghana, no history or whole.
I see.
Yeah, history or whole.
Yeah.
And no a bar, yebema. What eno nyina enti bomode ana fe tamuchuku ewa haya kakra je bi be kwa fidi muntumrum no na what me aboaye o de bomu aye de bebo de bomu aye de bebo ba enra akwatia abansan no yentimi anka kire and then we'll go into that this morning na fe
na bichim kwanta so e de call doba so de da hodo no e de ewo de history bi ara bi
say
be ka be chim kwanta
maybe
ede kodoba
maybe abaya be tafri president kufon searching na
boma na doma wo ayo bono ho
yes that's what I'm talking about
that's how nya be chim kwanta
o se nso da be chim kwanta
ene doma
o kodoba
like who chama kwa
what I say be chim ankasa no e wo history pa wo Ghana Fourth Republic
because our makwaya dey ohoda
okay obia wa ya dey be chim sansu mu bia so no obi heavy to say they obi heavy
oneka
what is that the kokova story be ewo be chim na unfortunately cameras 3 abede kwani da say cameras 3 abede kwani da say if you see the horrible free between horrible other cameras da ye adwuma ya fa ko repairs ya fa ko baby ya if you see the horrible free outside the sea baby ye kwakọ story no you do horrible if you horrible other cameras da ye adwuma it's a horrible there
JB asem na o kan afia say plate is table so now the aduane gumu a plate na dirty plate.
Oh no.
Dirty plate. But we did aduane ni we are plate ni there
because of dirty plate.
Send also call who.
You have to be wise. Immediately the food in the plate finishes, the status changes.
Yeah.
It becomes dirty plate. Remember what I say. I know you are some fatty and chroma can with the Kurum Kassem. I'm an assistant to Chile, which there. Crophobia, baby.
So,
anyway, Yapo Twaba.
Yes, Napo Twaba.
Eto Aba. So Ghana decides.
No, I see.
Napoy.
On the Gina wifey, Chino.
What?
One share party color, one share party tea.
There was a Saturday.
Why Cocodo?
Oh, no, apart from so I coconuts in the Fodwa.
Oh, say, let's like.
I ran a channel.
No, I. And I tell the channel. No, right.
I tell you this one. I don't know food or soup.
Tarena. Or repair Tarena.
There be bad campaign, yeah, easy. If yeah. But the campaign in 1996.
And you could see from their faces. The last one, you could see from their faces.
Yes.
It was
Prof. Kasano.
Yeah,
now
sure.
On the voice.
Prof. Who?
Yeah.
John Jabadi Bahaba who? And of course.
Bahama Cran no share anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, bread.
And India was squad the day you cry. Mahmoud Baobia, doctor, that is the day you cry.
2000.
Yeah, bread.
Second round, 2001st round, 2002nd round, 2004.
But said Napo was Chateau Radio. So about Chateau Radio. Now the wife also about Chateau Radio.
Maybe our transfer call.
Well.
Say what not it? Why transfer?
Hey.
So on your transfer, there's no way of betting at all.
Well.
Hey.
That's about what they say a VVIP nim.
Hey.
Well.
Hey.
I transfer vote. Say Oware Ashanti region team. Na pom pene ho asem wutim se mu se na akua kufu person no ne kasa o se empeme ho asem chanko baby amaka du na ye lomote ni chanko masa be twa bite na mo de abreme.
Yeah, sure. Enti
na oba be so me person me who oba me dey na me we interest to who oba me how akusin
our Kaswa, that particular Kaswa constituency, no. Say no. Emuna Widiba Kaswa Asawase Emuna
Widiba Kaswa. Okay, so Widiba is being contested by an independent candidate.
Independent candidate. Every time we soldier for Kugu
the allegation is that after your back in Asha, but watch my baby, they are true.
Man, this is Maman Bill.
Yes, some more about it.
Yaman Bill.
Yeah.
And your sentencing to bit me a contested.
Sure, absolutely.
Only criminal record.
Yes, sure.
It's a more day.
Wow.
A more day. See, MPP as a political party. Be sure someone who hosts see and the party history diagram.
Yeah. Maybe I don't would
woman well, your fancy be an woman. 1996. When J. Kufuor lost the elections. Why you get it?
Yeah.
1998 I was Sunyane. You presidential primaries, you know, Anna Kufuor I win, you know. 1998 Christmas, you know. Oma Teresa Kufuor atoto akrante that time me hu akrante na ma ye dey kebab da.
Oh really?
Yes.
My
very first time I hu sa akrante ya toto Teresa Kufuor.
Wow.
The kebab.
A very guy pa.
I mean I catch on me ko proper.
Because they quite to say that the kebab.
Eti bana akrante bi ni nka ho. Ari ye fa ye kebab.
Oh okay. Because bia o say ye chichire
that's right. Eti penny for the dear we fine. Tell old man kasa. Obusa sem ba ko pe. To me hojo.
Dia bada ho.
Ani basa to me the here pe. Everybody there said to me hojo. And I see any ebi a me mafom won so wafom me ye fa no ni na nto nche ne kan sie ni ye kopetu mi na ahodwo no na ye wi a na ya hyehye ye ne ma pepepe da wahwe MPP history from 1992 Professor Albert Edubuahe elusu ye bitterly to Rawlings or cancel a parliamentary elections no say Rawlings na otwe me nsa account ye 29th December na Bessin there, MPP no was 1992 Manco Parliament.
I see. General Babeko Ahobadesoda Bede Benjamin Edu Ekasa. Oye yesem truly kese pa ewa santimentem ewa beshia. Be don't make abachi eniba odia 95.1 odia TV. Bia boko there. Hello Ben.
Hello.
Yes, Ben don't make abachi eniba odia TV odia 95.1. Bia boko. Good. Maybe I'm okay. Be sure to say another pay. Be sure south and I say be sure of now was here. Good. I want to say this here.
So the people that are going in the big game about the people of Mensia South constituency I work in Manchester. I have no to say. They were after the 3 constituency I work as staff. The owner MPP running the doctor Maji who became of Semaba. Now, it's say after the TA, one almost 50 years old, the year 2020 to buy and with the example of shares with the economy above and son of other Sonaba, or on any mammy, after staying at home, and on the wife, ama pempe ọmọ mi nyina na mbe ko wa ba wa ha ta no ka say di Dr. Matthew Kuku pempe wa to na ba ewo Menchia South apejesi ezia wa ta ko we fie ni ebutuafo edi nkọbọ ọmọ mo di re chile ba ni na eda ho ha Dr. Kuku a wa ye senior campaign team Dr. Abesama member of the campaign ọmọ nyina sound no mo ja no ene ye ni akuta o ye former NPP fabric constituency chairman ene anti company ko be dia obo asante mantre wa ene di le ene be to na ba ye hese obo pina ada to ni se nto ko di nkomo ana to di ni nkomo ye ba be die me no ka se de yebi Dr. Matthew Kuku president wa na ye ni ma me o be to ma ba e wa pe je tie wi a ye gira ha be e twan se dia obo to ni se nto ko atwan nkomo play e wi be touch.
I see. Reaction, let's say, Bible hostem, let's say, and it's before more horrible.
Of course, the young and young people, how do you buy the body there in here? Police work, our house, almost as the other couple. Among for some other small banks, among from what comes very well. Penny and Pastor said, the amount of say, regional city council, then to say by on the two metro media. I'm not a baby. The important of Philip Day or Menchia South. You who make your media. Yes, I said, it's not up of him, right? That's what I believe. The probably I'm not a baby. Menchia South 2020. The entire Tamboni of clinic of the 190 centers. No coincidence.
Now, only when this was Eddie Yura, Santo Kotoko, now what you see a brow on the Subeto Dabadi.
There you go, sorry, I also think they're going to do it.
Let me say, Mr. Yura, as I took to Kohide, what did see a time or so the better number?
Send you, and I have been that a number of child for today. It was too cold. How come you also in 51 out of the year? And yeah, your family actually said after 4, I was going to care about the number. And if you have my age, I sign up for Menchia, I am here, baby, I will do what's on about. That's a kind of him now, to be so probably yes. Not to compare now to the young idea. We young about 1 million after 4.
All right. Another notable name, Yura, Dr. Adokofo, believe say what would hold of so about to Nabadia.
Adokofo, normally they are not to get here or about the bar. So what something the book before the year or 2 without their information. By a bar idea, or me or my ye bahas na ye pape akọ abaron omo ma be to abegin ayo ho omo e ya ko MP ha so ba be aba.
I see. Ben, my end was that for the day actually be be see bia da o dey abre da fe ya start the whole cover. Thank you very much, Ben.
Elections we and quite certain direction e be one.
Certain direction that's it.
Because 1996 7 December na remember the na da pa na de che na ya akoside.
I see.
Na yakoside. 1996. Na tufo pukuare.
Yeah.
Na wakunya so. Otona ba 4:30 p.m. pepepe.
Oh, I see.
4:30 p.m.
Protocol Abatoɔ. Odru odo ba.
Hey, no.
Odru kosa lie.
David, hey. Yedi kan bo abane he.
So you reba.
Sure. 4:30, and I am not surprised. Say, Yamani Bofo Naka say, no 9 econo. Me GD say you rabe do 4:30.
Oh, I see. Because it's
because this is the second time I battle no esimi mineda 1996 and 2024.
Okay.
1996 and 2024.
Interesting.
Yeah, sure. And also that the chain na yakoside. And eye dapa echina yakoside. It's no there said ade no ebe crawl. Sir,
but the best so akwa ye babe the running mate to John Dramani Mahama. Ye babe Jean Nana Opoku Ajiman. Running mate to John Dramani Mahama. Each also be kwakoto daba. That fe ye monitor no very closely. That fe yahwe and also the free honorable ever.
The very first time political party be maintaining Oba as running mate twice. Don't forget that Park was in the FR Oba, but we're repeating.
Yes.
And this is the very first time Jane Nano Puku Ajman. 2020 was the running mate to John Dramani Mahama.
Yes.
And then 2024, John Dramani Mahama maintaining. Honestly, John Dramani Mahama, Sanka, no more NDC for information say, Baumia Mfa, a year, edutum.
Oh, I
the NDC knew. Edipa no nim kane pa to be kwache. Obi o wana number no pa ofra no bisa sama bondi won radio so. To be kwache knew. NDC Intel Strategic Committee no led by Totobi Kwache, they knew say baby adena kodru no Baumia befanapo enti womunjai Samuel Sapon manwen ho Ashanti region na onfa Jane. If Baumia fa du chuma come for Samuel Sapon man wa Ashanti region.
I see.
That's right. Now pointing on fa. Yeah, they realized that I don't know. So Jane, get ready again. So they were waiting. Patiently, they were waiting.
I see.
And then when they got the intel, say, I didn't say, I never economy say, okay, Samuel Sapon, come, relax. 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 Samuel Sapon.
It's not the third vice chairman or second.
Third vice chairman. Third or second, I don't know, but one of the NDC chairman. Emu do fine pa. Omo party no. Emu tinanka okekako. So by John Dramani Mahama running mates. But na omunya intel no confirm say e ho na be kono. And I'm saying there Jane and also. Obeko. Because at any given time, what did Jane and then put Jinaha so monk education and Apobi Jane? Because one of the blunderous political statements if in a Prenuma Baya or can say one way I training college now much studying in a one upon one school now one being here. Na womona omo feli na na asesa woma kogu teacher training college you are near Domaba so much there mad. You don't say this to teachers, you know, and it was blunderous. I mean, it was very suicidal. And then a man Kojo Yankson,
yeah,
Joy FM, Kojo Yankson, okay, say me say what the Bonapodi and MPP is disaster just away from the mention of the name Napo. You know, so that is it. So election 2024 is ongoing. Now, Pacho, Russia so ekojai bomb out to Ukraine on the 7th of December. Omo the warning ama aye Poland and Belgium. So Martin said they've had a meeting with the Defense Secretary of United States of America. But Sesiano, any Ethiopia, Ukraine better no, omefa no me hobebia country ya asade no efiri. Wo bia wo Europa, Ukraine better to bia beba ho mbefa no be wo say wo ukrom ho na efiri no. Obe respond answer ye the Christmas.
All right, so it's a job for share will be also the Ghana Police Service. Could say some right. If the Ghana Police Service horrible ever. But as I said, the Ghana Police Service has started central for share and I think this is one of the first moments this press conference early morning like this.
Debbie Peter Namfuri is the first IGP
yes.
Or a press conference. Okay. Ghana Abatuma 1996. Okay. Or the press conference 1 hour before 7 a.m.
1 hour before 7 a.m.
Or 6 a.m.
Okay.
And I don't know, Oka say, how you go, and the people are fooling around. When you talk to them that they should stop picking the ballot boxes and they don't want to listen. Just don't see what you are holding as a tree. Don't see what you are holding as a tree. When the person takes the ballot box away, the person has taken our future and our destiny away. Don't see what you are holding as a tree. Yes, your friend Peter Namfuri.
And we here 1 hour after.
We here 1 hour after.
1 hour 30 minutes after
1 hour
election.
30 minutes after.
HB Ebeko the Ghana Police Service on Boda Kofa Septrofo Shebua Ekoso Honorable. And mind you said the press conferences be Ekoso be especially after 7 p.m. Press conferences be Ekoso be and 2020 press conferences Ekoso be yes. So and it is expected. But Electoral Commission should be a press conference earlier this morning.
Okay.
Yes. So
comment, Peter Yanfred, Kaya, DCOP, Kokua Iso Pariado. Almost the same comment.
That's a Noya Ashanti Region. Noya Ashanti Regional Police Commander. Oh, free. Kokua Iso Pariado. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No free Interpol. Now on the Ghana in Interpol Commander.
Yeah.
But not a lawyer, so.
Yeah, sure.
What does a lawyer?
Oh, sir. For that practicing. Okay.
Ghana Police Service was there.
Where the name?
Hey, represent to TV so moment.
Kwekwa Enso Pariado wa being with police agent pa. I remember very well joining Jacob first time. Tamana Honorable Samson Kwekubua for Ashanti Regional Minister. Answer no modene ebe banona Africa hayina no. Say Interpol Emma red flagger ono na elidi front no. Etimi tokro bia wo hyem bia wa Africa bia no. Kwekwa Enso Pariado be kwa akwachewa ba. Ekwa pemini ba.
I see.
And then
one thing about him.
Tell us, my dear.
I don't know. Maybe Busano. So no kasa phone so I send the telephone numbers those. Or no wouldn't number we say we na or tie the fro. In the next minutes of fra. Or better sound the voice and I'm like the Busasa. Now they not see any na komojuma.
Yes.
So more pack from for that your man.
Interpol
Hey, he's very good.
Interpol
very, very good.
I'm sure I know home film.
That's why no man can answer much them. So that time no. What's in that semona?
Police will be there.
Yeah, with the cancer.
Through him, na me di hu no.
Suppose. And so it was.
Because so nya issue be.
No, it was.
Where yourself. Yeah, elections.
Uncle, yeah, what's that? That's like elections, no. Until we here, where can elections?
Oh, Sana, oh, Busa say, then I'm who. Watch now, Sembinti, send your being never been Kokase, ABC.
It's you, oh, father, say, so no, it was.
I am a godfather.
Yeah, and tell you, hey. And so, no, be a godfather, no problem. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, him say me them when here.
I mean, castle one, yes, yes.
And I'll paint me black.
Sister Janet, Dapodi.
Anytime how me go break why?
Yeah, go break. Yeah. So Kwekwa so Pariado or film kakra.
Yeah.
Yeah, no we jump.
As a purpose do
yeah, and now or your Interpol commander if your boy here na Makai and I remember very well time and Krofobi di boni bi wo Kenya umbe dwane be share manso adubia. Time on oya Ashanti Regional Police. Papa no abi o. Kwekwa Enso Pariado. Omu di boni no fi Kenya. Umbe dwane be share manso adubia. Oh, watch you almost simple kra.
I see.
But when him said Nanado time so I think Ashanti Regional this
Kofi Boache.
No. Mining once no or coordinator, BB coordinator.
So
ni should buy your papam
security coordinator. Nobody can pay more. Oh, power the yakete.
Onua. I saw Pariado. Papam yeah.
No, regional security coordinator.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Obo to the
Inti from Hokwa na say wa withdraw kakra no so mama konko.
There be ordering ho.
Na me lawyer ni na me san better do me.
When what Jay Kufo no mo ye adwuma ni na no na do treat wo mo ye.
At all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that's a fact.
That's true. Yeah.
Nipa bi oni Kufo ye adwuma no na do hu so ye enemy.
Yeah. Or your position battle.
And at point a crampo or say papa na friend so Omra Jubilee House now mo discuss it. He got there and the boys the way or here
there be
into when you access to him.
There be intentional.
And no team
this is how it is done. So I am the president. Nyash is being invited to come to the presidency because something ensued between both of us. Me, I'm a shed afro Sebra, and then I'll talk to JB to block you. And I'll just talk to JB.
I said that I see what
yeah, when so bad.
That Osho go deep, but told him the cost.
More on an incasa.
Because at point to cry, maybe Nam said not preferably himself to cry a bit to me IGP. Okay, yeah,
but on the current
yeah.
All right.
I mean,
police force statement, Rana.
Yeah, press conference.
I ready.
Yeah. Call the
all right. Yeah. Take Ghana Police Service now for you to us. Right. Thank you.
Task Force. Today is the election day, and as we have kept faith with you, we've been giving you regular updates on security situations as they happen across the country. This morning, we wish to inform the general public that all our officers have been deployed. We are fully poised to ensure security throughout the electoral process. As at now, we are monitoring, we'll be observing, and we'll be intervening whenever the need arises. We wish to also let you know that throughout the day, we'll be responding to issues and updating you with facts as they come up. So far, our officers on the ground have observed that quite a number of people try to access the various polling stations with their motorbikes. We wish to entreat such persons to ensure that they park about 100 meters away from the polling centers. And we have instructed our men on the ground to make sure they direct such persons to comply so we do not congest the polling stations with motorbikes. We also want to urge the general public to contact the police on our toll-free number 0800 311 311 whenever there is any information they want to share with us. Our officers are ready behind all the telephones and will be picking and responding to situations as they share information with us. I take the number again, 0800 311 311. We'd also like to use this opportunity to urge members of the public to desist from passing on information that is inaccurate, that they haven't verified. So issues of disinformation and misinformation to be discouraged so that all of us ensure a peaceful and successful process. And to facilitate this, we will continue to update you with the facts as far as security-related issues are concerned, as and when they come up. We want to take this opportunity once again to assure the general public, to assure all Ghanaians that the security agencies under the National Election Security Task Force, we are poised, we are ready, we are on the ground, and we will secure the election process up to the end. And we urge the public to come and work with us so that at the end of the day, Ghana will win. Thank you very much for your attention.
kwa babie mu ye call my Ghana police adwumako no asoye hyehyeye fa enne ho sene onom ama okasama fo am ye yanantie eno no womo ede womo mantie no agina babie eso omugina empese eso omokoso ene ho enkro ne ba nti sabre de bibia aye kama ewo ho no mu a eno ene amane ba ene posifo ebo ede ahyewe kire se womo aye krado etwen se hwi nsidie nenso wo se omo stand by na posifo no eye adwuma ede ma oman Ghana fa ya ho bambo emu enti ebekọ wale Abatoɔ Asoeɛ so right wale Abatoɔ Asoeɛ no eso enti your reporter ewo ho nti good morning my dear. Hello, good morning. Wale fo no nti enka o pacha mute ho na yeni nkomo e wadaroma. Hello, good morning. Okay, abusiafo ye ba sesia, quick one ye ba sesia ba Abatoɔ Asoeɛ Facebook for no montwa ye di kaka kire mo se operation yate dada nti ye ba sesia ha.
What do you before I make a quick one? The very first time I posted for your press conference, omo ye in tempa, Peter Namfuri on addressing media no 7 minutes 13 seconds pepepe. Wan kasabioma kusi area enumere 4 and osan kasabim to Peter Namfuri the press conference 1996 or say 7 minutes 13 seconds. Meaning this time round air post for the echo and a tailor towards that 1996 that GBC and an year known TV station na encrofoshe but there be a police for kasa no more abetum omokasa no more aba and I think say the Ghana Police Service will do almost the same thing. Yeah, na
because you banso so a ye be call 2020 last 4 years election mu osha dema bebre ne course so enhihye bebre ne course so policies ho nkwa ba de encrofo gina so to abatitiro enti ye be compare this year na ya hwe say anase say ye ba say
say
PM Travel and Tour Agency. Your champion tour organizers Neko. Your G was Singapore. Near TSC would Dubai Burj Khalifa 31st night. I saw quantity dinner our desert missile. Every 26 December, cause it 3rd January. What ticket? Dubai visa. Baby, I better. And no penny and you read Gianni. And Miami Albecoina, your $4,990. You have 50% for book you space. Next year, the Akana and Sana Yako. Registration in Abeberry year 20th December. Any just something to say. Yakoba, Yabemo free assistance for Europe Paris visit visa application. And Shayaka Krada. And Tiawari for Ankonam, Ejumaya for any of BM Ramayanko. And Shamubi Afre 0509 404 627 and 0303 943 257. PM Travel and Tour Agency, Dubai and Singapore. December way, Ube Filisa.
Bebesa me catch mu nyina say elections are ebe obia hwe yi enema asumdwe ndinkunu our elections election way say democracy ayaye no eye nyame nhira but say democracy no beko enimu a e wo say ye nyina ye hu say ye nipa dom ni nyina Ghana ye dia enti ema obia ema ono party a odi etire no on die ni ho echi ataki ninua ana say odi ntukwa ne niema beba enti election yi asumdwe Obia nkono nkotu na aba na in the long run Ghana endi nkunim.
Hello, me di American Sam yo jum tuni. Afi ye kwa koto aba. Mesreo. Koto mane a oda wakoma so. Koto wo asumdwe mu na kofie wo asumdwe mu. Ghana ya mene wo dia. Ye ni baby akọ. Ye ni baby akọ. Ti ye nyina ntna fefefe kwakere wadwen fefefe.
Right. How many people are expected to vote at this site?
399. They are the number on the voted register.
And what are the preparations that have been made for persons with disabilities?
Well, we have what we call the preferential treatment. So when they come, we give them the benefit of the doubt. We assist them and support them so that we ask them to vote before any other voter casts the vote.
All right, thank you very much. So I can confidently say that all 4 polling stations at the Oponglo restaurant have already started their voting processes. So we'll be coming to you with other hotspots in the area soon. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Eko Boashe, reporting to us. He is in Ayawaso, West Wogon, and we know the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency is interesting, not necessarily because of the voting pattern or the voting dynamics, because we know that it has predominantly been an MPP seat. You know, it was with Chemantine Jacko, who was the member of parliament. That's Boache Jacko's brother, right? He was the member of parliament for the area. Unfortunately, he passed, and then his wife, Lydia Sarah Malhassan, took over and won that seat. Now, John Dumelo entered the race to contest with Lydia Sarah Malhassan. They went at it in the 2020 elections.
In 2020, it was just a 2,000
vote margin, right? So let's see if John Dumelo will be able to make up for that, because there has been a lot of work that the NDC has been doing in the area. And it was very interesting, especially I remember during the campaigning period when John Dumelo went to the Legon campus, you know, with Malik Basintali and Lydia Sarah Malhassan. Lydia Sarah Malhassan also went there with, you know, Haja Samira Bawumia, and it was, you know, pretty interesting. And during the special voting, the member of parliament became, you know, infamous for saying that she was not there, you know, when food was being shared. But there were videos of, you know, her, you know, trying to give food to prison officers and what have you who were in the queue. And she has been dragged by John Dumelo to the special prosecutor for trying to influence people's votes, you know, by sharing food, which is actually, you know, against the law. So it'd be interesting to see how it plays out. This time around, will John Dumelo be able to cross over and do well or better, you know, than Lydia Sarah Malhassan in the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency? But let's continue to speak to our correspondents. We will take you to the Ashanti region, right?
Yeah, the late John Kume's constituency.
Yes, the Ejiso constituency, right? Absolutely. So, Lily, who is there and who are we talking?
Isaac Justice Bidiako is our man on the ground again. This time around, he's moved from Bantama. He moved from Bantama to Drubbing. Now he's in Ejiso. Isaac, what's the situation in Ejiso? Voter turnout. Give us the numbers.
Well, Lydia, I must say that at the Ejiso Enchina room where I am at the moment, everything is going on perfectly according to the electoral management body responsible for this polling station election. Now, what is happening is that as we speak now, 79 people, according to the officials, have turned up here to cast their ballots. So they haven't recorded any incident. People who did not come here because they have lost their voters' ID card to come and inquire, they have given them education that once your name is in the register, even if you have lost your voters' ID card, you still have the opportunity to come and vote.
It's fine.
Because you go through the verification process, then after that you are free to vote. So that education has also been given to people who have lost their voters' ID card in this particular town that would want to vote, but because of that they think that they cannot vote. They have told people to go and tell them that they should come to the center and come and vote. Now we have the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress in the person of Augustus Nana Kwesi. We'll find out from him what the situation is in the Ashanti region now, because he is the leader of the NDC in the Ashanti region. Nana, good morning.
Hey, good morning, my friend.
Nampomo saying. Great. Mawusa wonu wabusua mabetoma ba awie asantiment mu ha niema ekosen edema MPP NDC for mo ha so far as this elections ekoso complaints no bi ba na se bibia smooth.
Edikan yebeda obibia se omupie Abatoɔ Aba ape ensisa na meka say it's too early to complain. So far what I've seen here this morning, I think everything is going on well, and let me be honest, the EC people are working. For now it's around 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. They are doing good. The reception that they are giving to people, I think it's okay. Our party agents is being positioned well to see whatever is going on. So I don't have a lot to say. What I'm going to tell people that it's early days, but they should come out and vote, because I can see that the turn-up is a bit low compared to last 4 years. This time the line is very long, but this time I think I don't know what's going on, but I'll encourage everybody to come out and vote. So far, so good for now. So.
Online shoppen om te shinen tijdens de feestdagen? Cool. Betaalgegevens moeten invullen? Niet cool. Betalen met 1 klik via bankcontact met uw Payconic by Bankcontact app of uw bank-app? Cool. Live cool, pay cool. Payconic by Bankcontact.
It's too high. Yesterday, seen new pickups without numbers. They've changed the DV numbers to 2018 and other things. What was going on yesterday evening? We were quiet, but we were monitoring them. They can't do anything. The wish of Ghanaians is going to happen. If Ghanaians want Excellency John Dramani Mahama to lead the country again, nothing can change it. Nothing can change it, but we want free and fair elections. The complaints that I've gotten this morning is about the indelible ink. And so that's why I came early to vote and see if it's true. But it's early, so I'm waiting around 2 hours. I'll check that. If it's fading out, then I have a lot to say. But I can't say much. So far, everything is going on well. The voters are in the queue quietly, no noise. Everything is going on well.
So that is the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NDC. We also have Kwaku Buahin, who is a former Deputy National National Communications Officer of the NDC. Kwaku, you are live on GH1. How would you also describe the process so far?
It's going on well. I just voted and it's going on well, even though the turnout is not all that good. But we are hoping that by 12/1, people will come out in their numbers to vote. We are monitoring the system very well, very closely, and no intimidation. Everybody should come out in their numbers and vote.
Jack Alolumi, this time around
people are voting.
People are voting. This time around we are not going to sing. No. You are going around monitoring the election.
I came to vote.
Thank you very much. So that is Jack Alolumi. Nabi engage some of the electoral officers here and find out from them what their observation has been so far as these elections are concerned. Opayini, mema wache.
Yeah, papa.
Osha Onua Abatoɔ NDC chairman say as a nipa na ho kenka na omode ba na say from 4 years ago sabe na nipa ndo na ato sanete wa ha.
Oh yeah, police station dey asad na no almost 18 na ato aba asad now. So I think say dey kana kwa mbeba. A process in say kakra mbeba. So far is very encouraging.
Na Osha process na e corners monya issues ye ko dwabe na ba bi o hɔ ya na or as a manso obi wa see indelible ink no ye depend the bonus as a who and as a paper ha problem be sa abaha
da bibia masa
na chasa bibia fine
bibia masa
na se obi nso akoba se wayira ne ID card na se obaha eno mo bema na to ana mo ye
so ni so far so to ba han ko ade obo ni se hwe ne sindi mu dia which so to aba no
Okay. So, Lily, as you heard from the camp of the NDC and the electoral officials managing the election here at Ejiso Echak Room, everything is smooth for them. But the day is too young, so they don't know what will happen later. But generally in Ashanti region, we can describe it so far so good. It has been very peaceful.
All right, Isaac, thank you very much. But I just wanted to confirm if the candidate for the NDC is the Jerin Asante that we know. Is he the one contesting for the NDC?
Well, at the moment, when I came here, I've not seen the NDC candidate here. But of course, you know, Ejiso is a typical MPP seat, a typical MPP community. So where the NDC is not that much stronger in this particular constituency. However, they pool numbers in elections.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's Isaac Justice Bediako. He's been crisscrossing the Ashanti region, Bantama, Drubbing. He's currently in Ejiso, and he mentioned that NDC polls some numbers in the Ejiso constituency. It is predominantly an NPP seat. We can tell from the 2020 elections. In 2020, the late John Ampuntia Kuma polled 68,000 as against NDC's George Kwame, who polled 14,000. So you can clearly see the huge voter margin in Ejiso in favor of the NPP. The NDC that our correspondent engaged said, but they are willing and winning this election hands down. Will that be the case? A predominantly
that's
NPP,
a predominantly NPP seat, you know, and even a lot of the independent candidates who contested in the by-election, a lot of them, you know, have their roots in the NPP in that election. So you cannot imagine that the NPP will win the seat in Ejiso. But let's take you back to the Wejak-Bawe constituency. Obed King Aglo is there. We understand that as at 9 a.m., voting still has not started at some polling stations. Obed, why? What's happening?
Right, Lansam, exactly so, voting.
Right, so the internet connection has frozen there, but what we understand is that as at 9 a.m., voting still has not started in some polling stations, or at some polling stations in the Wejak-Bawe constituency.
Now it is simply Wejak constituency.
And, you know, we are wondering why. Yes, in the Wejak constituency, and we're wondering why, you know. And we were talking about this earlier, that, you know, one would imagine that having gone through electoral reform after electoral reform after electoral reform, having conducted how many elections since the Fourth Republic, quite a number of them, you know, the EC would have become very conversant in dealing with some of these issues, because every single election we have a problem of late start of voting, you know, and it doesn't help when there is a late start of voting, because voting was supposed to have started at 7.
Yeah, 2 hours
it's
later.
9 a.m. Voting has not started. So by 5 p.m. when polls are supposed to close, there are going to be people who are still in the queue to vote.
Hoping to vote.
And then when that happens, the voting goes into the night. And then it becomes very dark. And you know that is when people take the advantage to do a lot of sinister things, you know, under the cover of darkness. You know, and we do not want that to happen. So the EC, because I remember there was a time that the EC wanted to end voting at 3 p.m. Right? Because they believe that during the day, be able to do the ballot counting and all of that, we're able to declare the elections fast enough. You know, but, you know, that didn't happen. And still, voting has to, you know, close at 5 p.m. So if voting is supposed to close at 5 p.m., make sure that voting is starting on time at 7 a.m. But
is it that we didn't test our machines? Is it that we didn't educate voters enough? Interestingly, this year, I did not see a lot of voter education from the NCCE. I saw the EC place a few ads, but with voter education from the NCCE, we barely saw many of those ads on TV. Is it that the NCC is under-resourced? Is it that the NCC thinks that the voter is well vexed with voting process, and so there is no need to educate the voter? Well, we're seeing the result today, as a couple of constituencies have recorded very low voter turnout, and some constituencies are also recording faulty BVR machines. where do we go from here as a country? Shouldn't we have moved on? Some will say this electoral commissioner and her commissioners are pretty new, but they conducted the 2020 polls. They've conducted primaries for the various political parties. They've conducted the district level elections. And some of these concerns were evident in all these elections that they conducted. Shouldn't we have learned from all those things? The EC stated its readiness for this election. What is happening on the ground speaks otherwise. Well, we're still live on our coverage of the 2024 general elections. This is an election showdown. Obibesu. At
the end of the day, you know, when the voting is done, and you know the results start trooping in, that is when we're going to begin to see how it is all shaping up. And you talked about voter turnout, you know, and it's still early. It's only 9 a.m. And so there are a lot of people who may be eyeing to go to the polling stations to go and vote maybe sometime in the afternoon or maybe later on in the evening, because they've got a lot of things to do during the day. And so usually when you go to a lot of the polling stations, you realize that towards the evening the queues are longer, because everybody has sort of finished with what it is that they want to do, and they want to join the queue to make sure that they're able to exercise their franchise, you know. But when you look at voter turnout figures, you know, throughout the years, you know, it's been, you know, steadily increasing, right? In 2016, for example, there was a voter turnout, you know, after all was said and done, of just about 68.6%. That was a voter turnout. In the 2020 election, it went up by 8.3%. Voter turnout went up by 8.3% to 79, you know, percent. For the 2024 elections, we're expecting a projected voter turnout of about 70 to 80%. That is what the EC has told us. But it remains to be seen, you know, how the voter turnout is going to play out. But let's establish our presence at the Electoral Commission headquarters, where my colleague Evelyn Araba-Edu is standing by. She has pitched camp as the Electoral Commission headquarters, and she will be bringing us an update as to how they are also prepared. We know that the strong room is going to be there. The party agents are going to be there, also taking their figures from their various, you know, constituencies.
And we, the journalists,
right,
with our eagle eyes, are also there, especially here at the EIB network, on TV, on radio, online. We'll bring you all the figures that come in. I'm sure by 2 or 3 p.m. a lot of the constituencies would have been done voting because of the polling centers that was cut into smaller sizes, and so a lot of them would have been done voting, and those with discrepancies would continue voting. Unfortunately, maybe we're going to see a long haul for us as journalists in this election, but we're ready for you. Know that from now through till the final declaration, this is the house to look out for. Evelyn Araba-Edu is live from the EC headquarters. Araba, you are the EC headquarters. Tell us the mood there. You journalists.
Du samedi 7 au lundi 9 décembre,
chez Brico, Brico City
et Brico Planet,
à partir de 40 € d'achat avec votre carte de fidélité,
vous recevez 15% sur tout.
Et même 20% de réduction pour les membres B+.
Soyez fiers de le faire.
Et pour moins cher.
Conditions en magasin et sur brico.be.
Of the National Coalition Center. Well, when it comes to electoral processes, it has about 4 duties here perform, and it has to do with declaration presidential election results, which starts from the polling station. Then it just moves to the constituency collation centers. Then it also has the regional collation centers, and finally ends at the national level. So when the results are declared or collected from the various polling stations, it will now move to the constituency level, then to the national level, to the regional level, I beg your pardon. Then it will finally come to the national level. That is after it has been authenticated by the regional director of the Electoral Commission in that region. That is throughout the 16 regions, and also endorsed by the various regional reps of the political parties. Then it will be faxed to the national level. Now, at the national level here, this is where all the results from the 16 regions will be collated through a fax machine. When they receive it here, it will be collated. And then the returning officer, that's the national returning officer in the person of the Electoral Commissioner, Madam Jane Mensah, would now have the mandate, the duty of declaring only the presidential result of who the president is or who has been elected as the president of this election, Lily Mohammed.
All right.
Now, let me also add that at the National Coalition Center, we also have a number of people who are supposed to be here. Okay. Remember, not everybody is permitted to be here. So those who can be here are the various presidential candidates. Yes, they have the right to be here if they want to be here. They can also have some of their national executives to be here. Aside that, we have the national and the international observers also who have the access to be here, as well as the media, and then some staff of the Electoral Commission who also have the permission or have the access, and there's the card, who have the access accredited card to be here, Lily Mohammed.
All right.
So, and then very soon, the Electoral Commission will be briefing the media on the ongoing elections as well.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to that particular brief. That's Evelyn Arabedu, live from the EC headquarters, telling us that there are just very select few that are allowed at the EC headquarters. At this time, the presidential candidates, the national executives of the various political parties, the national and international election observers, as well as your favorite friends, we in the media. Pretty shortly, the Electoral Commissioner will be addressing the press. I will go there when the address is on, and will tell you what the Electoral Commissioner wants to tell you, the Guinean voter.
Yeah, of course. You can see that a lot of the media houses there have pitched camp, you know, and that stadium is there. So we're expecting that sometime, if we are very lucky, but it is very unlikely, later on this evening, we'll see her go to the podium to announce the results. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure
very unlikely.
Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. I'm pretty sure it will be maybe, we can expect it from tomorrow evening, you know, going she'll get to that podium and then she will announce the presidential results. Because she's the returning officer for the presidential results, right?
Three-time calling of the final results.
No. We do not want to experience elections being declared about 3, 4, 5 times, right? But we're taking you to the Ofutu constituency, where you can see in your shot the majority leader.
Majority leader,
Alexander Kwame
address me as the majority leader. that is what we'll remember him for in 2024 as we go into 2025. But that's our majority leader, Alexander Kwame Appenyomake, casting his ballot in the Ofutu constituency. I did not see whether that was the presidential or that was... Okay, so he's done. He's actually done casting his ballots for the presidential and the parliamentary. 3 people contesting in that election. The majority leader, Alexander Kwame Appenyomake, the NDC's James Kofi Annan, and then an independent candidate from that area. So
on your screen right now is Haruna Idrisu, MP for Tamale South constituency.
It's my prayer that John Mahama ways to change course and to reset our country for the good of our democracy, for the health of our democracy, for the health of our economy, for the health of good governance. Change is necessary and change is compelling. And I trust that the sovereign will of the Ghanaian people will just respect that and be Ghanaians opting for change and voting for change. The performance of government in every enterprise of governance is abysmal and poor and very disappointing. And we should see change. And Ghanaians must witness change to see an end to our unexplained suffering out of the irresponsible, reckless conduct of government and this unmatched corruption and abuse of public structures and processes. It's all about loot of the state.
That's the Honorable MP for Tamale South constituency, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. He used to be minority leader, you know, in Parliament, and he is hoping that the NDC is going to win the election. I'm pretty sure he's already cast his ballot. And we'll be bringing you some of these reactions as and when we have them. But let's go back to the Wager constituency, where Obed King Aglo earlier was telling us about voting not starting in many of the polling stations in that constituency. Obed, we lost you earlier there, but you were about to tell us the reason why voting had not yet started at some polling stations. What have you been able to gather? Obed, we can't hear you. If you have not unmuted, can you unmute for us? Because we can hardly hear you, Obed. All right.
Right. So, Lantam, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly now.
So, I was saying that it is still the situation here at the MFS polling station here in the Waitakbawe constituency, where voting has still not started. Now, interacting with the presiding officer, he tells me that it's because of the absence of the parliamentary pink sheet that has delayed. The polling agent insists that both the presidential and parliamentary pink sheet be ready before the process will begin. Electorate have come here since morning and are still in the queue waiting to vote. I have here with me one aged man who showed up around 7, still here and has not voted. Let me talk to him what he's going to do next. You're welcome to GH1 TV.
Thank you.
Right. What time did you come here, sir?
I came here 7 a.m. this morning. And my question is, I wonder why the pink sheet parliamentary one and the presidential one, why didn't they do it together, but rather separated it? Because our problem here is that the presidential pink sheet is ready, but the parliamentary pink sheet is not ready. And we, the voters are saying that both pink sheet has to be ready so that we can vote for both, a candidate. We can't vote one and then wait for another pink sheet to come. We are very frustrated. It's very disturbing. I wonder why. Is it a sabotage or something? I can't believe this. Because this has never happened in this constituency before. This is the first time I'm experiencing such a thing in this polling station. We're still hanging around here.
Okay.
We're not moving an inch.
Right.
We have to vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Lantam, that was the aged man speaking to us about the situation, and they are still here since morning. Not even a single person has voted. They are lined up here, waiting outside the polling station, which is the New Day School, formerly called the MFS School. They are frustrated about the process, and they are calling on the Electoral Commission to ensure that the process will start so that they can vote and go home. Let me still talk to some of the people here. I've cited some polling agents here.
The camera is on.
Let me talk to him and let's find out. You are representing the MPP. The presidential is in, the parliamentary is in. How do you feel about the process?
Well, now we are not having the parliamentary sheets. We are waiting.
Don't you think it's a delay for the electorate? They've come here since morning and have not voted.
For us, we said the process should continue, but our colleague is having a problem with it. That they want to see the pink sheet before the elections. So now we don't have any problem. We want the election to continue. Our colleague there in the we want to see the pink sheets before the elections start.
I don't think they are right.
For me, I think pink sheets are needed after the elections. And so pink sheets doesn't need before elections. It's after elections. The patients.
Right. Let me talk to some of the electorate, what they make of this position. Mwafaba Eba GH1 TV. Almost say a parliamentary patient by Uhunisen.
And Yakura, who saying, Sadia, Pomupana, or someone to work. I don't know, President General Abba, now parliamentary general Mudiasi. Why not because I have military as I way to know what just. And then you are very ashamed. And but next day, bet me out. A special vote to Campo, almost to be two. The year then we are two now, and bet me out to that because in the majority before bet me, and to me, and this I send this chairman, then now be the same. A bar, but I'm bar, and let's
right. So, Lily, those are some of the electorates. Obviously, he's the chairman of the NDC in this area, insisting that until the parliamentary pink sheet arrive, voting is not going to start. And so we are still monitoring the situation, and we will update you in the subsequent engagement.
That update. It's quite unfortunate that at this particular polling station, pink sheets have not arrived yet. And, you know, for the life of me, I can't understand the reason why parliamentary pink sheets have not arrived, you know, and the presidential pink sheets, you know, have arrived. You know, the pink sheets are not going to be used now. The pink sheets are going to be used at the end of.
Zorg voor de gezondheid van je huishoudhulp. Laat de etiketten op je schoonmaakproducten. Vermijd ammoniak, javel, spuitbussen en verstuivers. Ah ja, en verlucht elke kamer. Dat is belangrijk. Ontdek de juiste reflex op iktoonrespect.be.
The pink sheets will come, so you start the voting. Now, if they start the voting, you know, how do they do the recording?
Exactly.
You know, and all of that. So, for the life of me, I cannot understand the reason why parliamentary pink sheets have not arrived at a polling station, you know, as at what time? As at 9:20 a.m., you know, by my watch. And, you know, the Electoral Commission will do well to make sure that they're able to rectify that issue. But we take you to Owutu Senya.
Yeah.
Owutu Senya constituency.
Minister, yeah. Owutu Senya East,
yes.
You can see how Mavis Harkumson in your shot. She's casting her ballot in that election. Yesterday, we learned that there were some allegedly military officers that were detailed to the Owutu Senya East area. We understand that currently calm is restored to that area. But it's one of the constituencies that I am particularly looking out for to be peaceful. You know, we've witnessed incidents in the past. And so that's Mavis Harkumson in your short. She's a member of parliament for the Owutu Senya East constituency. She's the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. Yeah. Are we ever going to see an election where an MP will say, "Oh, I forgot to vote for myself. I don't want to."
No, I don't think we're ever going to.
Kindly give me another ballot paper. Let me go vote.
Yeah, you know, I don't think. Yeah, no, you know, but you know, it's interesting because in the Owutu Senya East constituency, the NDC parliamentary candidates, I remember I spoke to the media and said he was very confident of winning about 67%, you know, of the votes. He was very, very emphatic and very confident that he'll be able to unseat Mavis Harkumson, you know, the constituency. So the NDC parliamentary candidate for Owutu Senya East constituency, Phyllis Nakroyo Okuno, that's her name. You know, and she says she's confident of winning 67%, you know, of the vote. So we'll see. Will she be able to unseat Mavis Harkumson, who seems to be very popular in the Owutu Senya East constituency, right? Will the NDC be able to take the seat away from the MPP in the Owutu Senya East? That remains to be seen. At the end of the day,
you know, in
we will find out.
2020, they both went head to head.
Yes.
You know, and it was quite interesting. It was just about 6,000 votes.
Yes.
Mavis Harkumson polled 57,000 and Nakoyo polled 51,000. Let's see what this will look like in 2024. Same women going again. Will this time Nakoyo make inroads and unseat Mavis Harkumson, who is, however, very confident of winning this election? But I'm wondering what she might have done in 2020 to satisfy her constituents such that they massively voted for Nakoyo.
Yeah, you know, because in the Owutu Senya East constituency, in the last election, that is in, you know, election 2020, the MPP won both in the presidential and the parliamentary. You know, Nana Akufo-Addo won Owutu Senya East with 57,555 votes. You know, that's about 52.26%. And Mavis Harkumson, you know, also came in with 52.55%. That's 57,114 votes, right? But Phyllis now, you know, Koyo, you know, also did well with about 51,000 votes, right? But Still in the Ewutu Senya East constituency, maybe it's how Akumsen, after casting her vote, had this to say. Let's listen.
And the people didn't know which of the queue they should join. Fortunately, the electoral officers have resolved it, and it's moving very smoothly. By the end of the day, I'll be crowned as the winner, but with the percentage I live in the House of the Lord. Now, I believe it wouldn't be anything less than 50%. I'm still expecting peace in this constituency. You remember I promised the people of Ewutu Senya East and Ghana that this year, never again, what my opponent pushed me to do in 2020, no matter what, I'm not ready to do it this year. I'm ready to make sure that there will be peace before, during, and after this election. Because I'm the winner, I should not do anything to punish my opponent. What happened in 2020, I regretted it. And that's why on my vetting day I apologized. So, as someone, if I want to do something, I'm focused. I've done my campaign. I went all over the community, I've campaigned. And the people know me, they know, they've received my message, and they are willing to vote for me. So I need not to create any problem in the community. If there is any problem, I'll just ignore it. I'll be very focused. I'm going to continue on my good works. I'm going to continue on my good works. We know that Kaswa, even though I've constructed a lot of roads, we still need more roads. We need more access roads, inner roads, and that's what we're going to continue. Our water issue. Some areas have waters, others have issue with their water. Their lines have been laid, but the water is not flowing. I've started working on it, and I'm going to make sure that the water flows.
So that's Mavis Akumsen. She says, I am focused. In 2020, there were a few incidents in the Ewutu Senya East constituency. She said, I regret it. And so that's why she apologized during her vetting as the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. One of the constituencies I'm also keenly looking out for is the Ewutu Senya West constituency. You know that the Director of Communications of the Presidency is contesting that seat. Yeah. But I'll tell you about that shortly. Let's head back north to Tamale South. Abdul Hanan Adam is there. Hanan, what's up in Tamale?
Over here, but despite the weather conditions, the people are out in their numbers casting their ballots, and we are currently in the Tamale South constituency, which is one of the safe seats for the opposition NDC, and where we are currently is the Lamashigu primary and GHS, where we have 3 polling stations being mounted here, and quite a number of voters have turned out to cast their ballots. Quite a number of them came very early, we understand, from the presiding officer who is behind me, telling us that the exercise has been smooth so far with no incidents at all. Earlier, we were at the polling station where the Member of Parliament and former Minority Leader Haruna Idris also cast his ballot, and assured that they will make sure that they police the ballot to ensure that the NDC triumph in this election. Just as he's saying so, his opponent, who is Mr. Bawa-Fuseni, is also confident that for the first time the NPP would win this particular seat, because they accused the former Minority Leader of not actually representing the people of the area to the best of his ability, because quite a number of challenges in this area. But so in your short, you have the electoral officers assisting some of the voters going through the processes to ensure that their names are captured and they are duly verified. They are actually being reminded about the fact that they need to clip their hands clean to ensure that they don't tamper with the ballot papers. But here with us is the presiding officer for this particular polling station, and he's just dishing us some additional instructions to his colleagues. But we'll be engaging him shortly. You're live on GH1 television. Tell us what your name is and how has the processes been so far ever since you started this morning.
Okay, I'm Self Abdul Rashid, the PO of this particular polling station. Yeah, voting started at exactly 7 a.m. and so far everything has been moving smoothly. Yes, voting process is underway. No any violence, nothing. Everything is moving on well smoothly.
So far, how many people do you expect to cast their ballot?
So far, we have about 76 people have cast their ballot so far. Yes.
So what is the total number of voters here?
We are expecting about 679 voters, to cast their votes at the end of polls today.
So far, have you encountered any challenge so far?
No, we've not encountered any challenge. Everything is moving on smoothly. Yeah, our verification machines, everything is good, and we are moving on.
Okay, so that is the presiding officer for this polling station. Like I indicated, about 3, and so are here, and some of the electorates or voters are here. I've seen an agent, a party agent who is here. Let me try and engage him. You're live on GH1 television, and would you tell us your name, which party you represent, and how has the process been so far?
Well, I'm Abdul Samed Ali. I'm NDC agent for Tamalisaf, Lamashiru Prime New Block. Well, as of now, everything is going normal, and the voting process is going well for us as here. As of now, we are almost getting to 100 voters. So we thank God, and very soon maybe everything will go successful for us. So we are okay for now.
Okay, so you've not encountered any challenge so far?
No. As for here, there is no problem that we are encountering, but we are almost trying to make sure that the machines will go well for us so that nothing will stop us.
Okay, so that is the NDC agent who I engaged briefly. So quickly, let me engage the MPP agent and find out from him what he makes of the process so far. Just want to engage you briefly. What is your name, and tell us how you've been observing the process so far? If you could go candle 10,
okay. The process is normal.
What's your name and which party are you representing?
Abdrazak, representing MPP.
Okay.
Yes, and so far everything is going on normal. It's very smooth.
Les Bellisol Days, ce sont des conditions exceptionnelles sur vos châssis et portes. Venez vite les découvrir dans nos showrooms. Une valeur sûre à vie.
The boot ought to be, but now it's been resolved, so everything is going on normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how confident are you of your chances?
Oh, very clear, very clear. We don't talk too much. We only exhibit action. At the end of the day, we pray and hoping that things will become.
But you don't talk too much, it's all about action. But the MPP has never won this seat since 2004.
Yes, and it shall turn around. We were holding it initially before Harun Ejusuk and Co came. And so certainly it will turn again, God willing. Yes.
All right, so the MPP agent is anticipating that there will be a turnover or there will be a switch by end of poll today. But they have never won this particular seat before, but they are hoping that they will do so. So quite a number of people still in the queue to cast their ballot. So like I indicated, Lily, earlier, the former minority leader Harun Edriso actually engaged us, and if that is ready, so let's take a listen to what he told us after he cast his ballot.
We'll bring that to our viewers shortly, but thank you very much. That's Abdul Hanan Adam. He is our man on the ground in the Tamale South constituency. Voting is smoothly ongoing, but we also understand there are a few issues here in the Greater Accra region, particularly in Koro, where the polling agent for the New Patriotic Party has been arrested for alleged voter inducement. You know that when the news breaks, this is your election hub. We bring you 360 coverage. We bring you up-to-date analysis. This is where the news is, and this is where you should be looking out for. GH1 TV, Star FM, starfm.com. On all our social media pages, we are live. And so that's what you're seeing on your screen. It's happening at the Krowa constituency. Allegedly, voter inducement going on. An NPP agent has been arrested. Murtala Inusa is our man on the ground. Pretty shortly, he will tell us what he observed prior to this man's arrest. But quite unfortunately, that these are some of the things that political parties were asked to desist from doing, and we're seeing exact opposite.
I mean, we saw it happen in the special
of what
voting,
they were
right?
warned not to.
There were allegations of this in the special voting, and we're seeing it happen here. We understand that the MPP agent who has been picked up was picked up at Information Center polling station at Krowa. We understand that his name is Lord Otu. Lord Otu. We understand that is his name.
Quite an interesting name.
Quite an interesting name.
He'll be shouting,
in your shot there, you see the police picking him up and taking him to the station, perhaps to assist in investigations, because we understand, like Lily has been telling you, that he has been trying to influence voters. And that is something which is strictly forbidden. And I understand, or we all understand, that according to our electoral laws, when it is the day of voting, if anyone is standing in line, you are not supposed to try and give them anything. No meat, no food, no water, no money, or anything. Now, Murtala Inusa will bring us that update. Lily.
Right, Captain, tell us, moments leading to Lord's arrest, what did you observe, and why was he picked up? Is it because of the voter inducement we are reporting? Captain, if you can unmute for me.
Ellie, can you hear me?
Great, smooth. Please go on.
So we all know what happened during the special voting exercise, where the issue of money sharing, food sharing all came to the fore, and the kind of reaction that it generated. So during this particular main election, a lot of eyes are on that particular practice. And here at Krowa, specifically Information Center polling station, if you come, for those who are familiar with Nungwa, they will tell you this is the old traditional authority, or the Nungwa bus stop, just close to that. That is where I am reporting from. And this incident happened where an agent of the NPP, he mentioned his name as Lord Otu. And the allegation is that he gave out some money to some of the guys in the queue who were here to vote, primarily to induce them to vote. And that generated some kind of tension. Those who saw that reacted angrily, and they wanted him out of this premises. They wanted the police to arrest him. But Lily, I had an interaction with him personally, and he said, look, it is not money that I am giving out to voters in the queue or people who are in the queue to go and vote. But this is a mobilizer, somebody who is mobilizing activities within their constituency. He is the one that I gave out the money to, and so he's willing to give that person's contact out for the police to look out for. But clearly, the setting, the scene that the thing happened, he would have bet that if he had a second chance, he wouldn't have given out that money, he would have removed that particular money from his pocket at that particular point in time, because the people who saw it will not have to listen to explanation before coming to term. Especially so also because this very center is a known center, it's a known place to be the stronghold of the NDC, and so they did not, as it were, come to term. They were not happy with that particular situation. They wanted him out. And as I speak to you about the video that you showed on the screen clearly, the police came in here, picked him out, and as we speak, he has been replaced by the party. So the MPP has replaced him with another agent here at the Information Center here at Krowa. So clearly, any activity that seems to undermine the practice here, the police is also on guard to ensure that they come up on all those things, and this whole thing is. So at this particular center, there are 3 polling stations, centers here that elections are taking place. The issue about some delays, of course, as there are some of the polling centers that before I came to this particular place are still struggling to begin the exercise. But what is clear is that this particular agent who got involved in the said involved, what he told me was the fact that it is not money that he was giving for somebody in the queue to go, but somebody who is the mobilizer, who is organizing activities for him, is the person that he gave the money to. But clearly, the police will have to investigate that. In the process, he has been picked up by the police.
Now, Captain, I'm wondering, this particular mobilizer, where was he in the midst of all of this? Was he in a queue? Does he vote in that particular polling center?
So what is not clear is the identity of this person that he said is a mobilizer and is somebody that he's organizing stuff for him within the constituency, and so he's giving out money to. All that was identified is that when the queue was there and the people were about to vote, within the queue, the money was given out to that particular person. So in all, they felt that it is somebody in the queue, and then they were trying to induce the person to vote. When the incident happened, the identity of that particular person that he described as the mobilizer was not known. But he said that he has the contact of the person to give out to. But as at the time that he was giving the explanation, and all of a sudden, when the police were trying to intervene, and you could see the crowd, the tension arising here on all that, the identity of that person is not known. The person didn't show up here. And as at the time that he was picked up, that person that he mentioned was also nowhere here.
All right, Captain, thank you very much for that update. So there you had it. Core constituency head of political desk has joined us. Ibrahim Alassan, he was here last night. He gave us all the analysis. Ibrahim, we know that this is an election that probably will go down as one that will give either of the two major candidates a showdown.
Yes, most definitely, and I've been monitoring as well on my way here, and also I've been here for the past hour in monitoring the reports that are filtering in.
We can see that your pinky finger has been dipped in indelible ink.
Not yet.
Or not yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
He has not voted
I've not voted yet.
Okay,
so what when he goes there,
not yet. Yes, I've not voted
Please,
yet.
Ibrahim Hassan's finger has not been dipped in the indelible ink yet.
Yes,
okay. I thought it had.
so that he not decided for double voting.
It's a shadow that I saw. Okay,
Most
so you've not
definitely.
voted yet.
Yes.
Okay.
But of course, I think the story runs through. If the explanation that usually many polling stations will record low turnouts in the morning, and then as the day wears on, we have the numbers going up. It's too early to draw a conclusion about low voter turnout, but the reports we're getting from across the voting centers is that point to that direction. Hopefully, and it's good we talk about it. Usually when we talk about it, the political parties get the opportunity to mobilize, move in there and mobilize people to vote, because people need to vote. So far, from the Ashanti region to the Greater Accra region to the Western region, and especially to the campuses. The students are not on break. They are on campus. But so far, Valco polling station at University of Ghana, Legon, 24 people, only 24 people have voted.
And this is more than 2 hours past voting start.
Exactly. And this is an academic institution. The students are there. Today is Saturday, right? So that is the trend that is developing. But of course, if you go to the hinterlands, this will not be anything that should raise an eyebrow, because usually some of them go to attend to their business before returning to vote. Exactly. And so, give or take, after 2 p.m., you realize that queues will start building up again. But of course, when I was coming, right from Kwashiman through to Awoshi, you could see the queues. Banyard, you could see the queues, and people were willing to just vote and then go back home and attend to their businesses. Just that, when I covered 2020 elections, on the ground, if you compare the queues we witnessed as of 4 a.m. in 2020, even in COVID, and you compare the queues we are seeing today, if the political parties do not move in to mobilize, we might have to record low voter turnout, or lower this time around compared to that of 2020.
And when you look at, the voter turnout, right, we've been talking about a very noticeable trend of increasing registered voters, but voter turnout has not necessarily increased proportionally when you look at the number of registered voters who, at every given time come onto the electoral roll. Even though we've seen voter turnout increase year on year, right? You know, while voter registration surged by over 50%, that's from 1992 all the way to the year 2020, voter turnout has varied. You know, it peaked at around 85.1%. That was in the year 2004.
Exactly.
Dropping all the way to 61.7% in the year 2000. And, you know, when you go to the other figures, you know, it came up to 72.9%. That was in the year 2008. Then 79.4%.
Voici le tout nouveau Unlimited 10 de Bosch. Aspire tout, même l'invisible. Tout est nickel, c'est dans le mille. Micro-clean de Bosch.
A lot of people, you would imagine, would go out in the IMS to go and vote for the NDC, but they were not too happy about the NDC administration under John Mahama, so decided that they were not going to go out to go and vote at all. So you look at the voter turnout figures in the voter region, and that was quite low, and all of that contributed or accumulated in the low voter turnout that we saw, which is 68.6% in the year 2016. However, in 2020, a lot of people, came out to come and vote, right? So it went back up to 79.0%. That's in the last election that we have. And this time around, the EC is projecting, with the number of registered voters we have well over 18 million people who are registered to vote, right? 18,774,159 to be exact. This is the number of registered voters. So they're expecting 70 to 80% of this figure, to come out and vote. But if we look at the trend that we are seeing this morning with regard to all the reports that we are getting, at some polling stations, yes, you see quite a number of people who are there voting. At other polling stations, not a lot of people, are there, as compared to around this same time last year when the reports were coming in. So it's making you wonder, what are we looking at here with regard to the voter turnout numbers? Are we going to see a low voter turnout or are we going to see a high voter turnout? You cited the case of Legon, right?
Yes.
Which is, pretty surprising because today is a Saturday, there are no lectures, there's nothing happening.
And all the students
so what are the students doing? Why are they not going out there to vote, And
the figures you gave are quite interesting, especially if you look at that of 2020, 79%.
Yes.
In the mix of COVID.
Yes.
But there is, in spite of that, over 4 million registered voters did not vote. Even though the register was compiled in the same year of the elections, we actually compiled a new voters register in 2020.
Yes.
Which meant that the possibility of many people dying, many people traveling, was limited because you compile the voters register in about 2-3 months. We go to the polls, right? Nonetheless, over 4 million Ghanaians did not vote. But then the voter turnout was still high in spite of the fact that we had COVID-19.
Yes.
79%. Now, if you compare that, it's also with the special voting. The special voting in the year 2020 was higher than what has been recorded today. Today, the special voter turnout was 83%. 83%. Last year, it was way above 85%. I'm talking about the last election, last 4 years, special voting. So if that's anything to go by, then that should give the political parties an indication of what we are to expect today.
But voter apathy.
Exactly, that's one. Because when you look at special voting, it's about you electing to submit your details to the EC for the EC to compile a special voters register.
Sure.
And we did that just about a month or 2 months ago. So once you willingly submitted your details, you should be ready to take advantage and vote.
And go vote.
Regardless, there were many who submitted their names, they got captured to vote on Monday and on Thursday. They didn't vote. And so it's a trend we're seeing, but it's not too late. We've been voting for just more than 2 hours now. There's more time for the political parties to do the mobilization. Of course, and if you are watching us and you are yet to vote, we encourage you to go and do that because, as they say, if you don't make the choice, somebody will make it for you.
Absolutely. Let me hold you there. Making the choice, we head to the Electoral Commission headquarters. The Electoral Commission is about to address the press. You know that Evelyn Abatoɔ gave us that insight a while ago. Just a select few allowed to the EC headquarters now. That's the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Gina Adukwah-Mensah, addressing the press. We hear from her. But mind you, only presidential candidates, national executives of various political parties, national and international observers, and us, the media, are allowed. So please do not go anywhere around the Electoral Commission headquarters. Just go cast your ballot, go to your homes, wait for the final sorting and counting. Let's hear from the EC chair.
This is indeed the day that the Lord has made. We rejoice and we are glad in it. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome all of you, our media partners, and all Ghanaians listening to us in the comforts of their homes to the National Coordination Center and the head office of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. This is a historic moment in our country, as this is the first time we are opening up our collation center at the national level to our media partners. And we are doing this right from the start of the elections, which took place a few hours ago. As you are aware, all elections since the inception of the Fourth Republic in 1992, in all elections since the Fourth Republic, that is since 1992, the media have been granted access only when the declaration is being made at the National Coordination Center. And so in the past, although some media may have had access to our polling stations, it was only when the declaration was about to take place that the media were invited to the National Coordination Center. Today, this has changed, and hence my discussion and my declaration that this is a historic moment. Going forward, as like today, the media will have access to all our centers across the country. As you are well aware, the Commission has today granted access to all our polling stations at all our constituency collation centers, all our regional collation centers, and our national collation center to the media. We have to date accredited some 10,000 media men and women to cover activities in the field. The media will have first-hand verified information on all aspects of our work. This is a testament of the values that the Commission holds dear: values of transparency, values of accountability, values of integrity, values of inclusiveness, and values of responsiveness. We believe that by enabling our media partners to cover all aspects of our work, we will inject the needed transparency into all aspects of our work. This will provide the citizenry with vital information and help eliminate and reduce completely the suspicions that had hitherto characterized our work. Ultimately, we have no doubt that this will help to cement the peace and stability of our country. Our media partners, over the next 3 days, and to the citizens of Ghana, over the next 3 days, we will provide you with up-to-date situation reports and address the concerns of citizens. We are aware that you have your teams in the field, and so if there are any issues, we urge that you bring them up for the Commission to address those issues in a timely manner. In the spirit of responsiveness, we have a toll-free number that will be made available by a Deputy Chairman for Operations when he takes up the stage. And this is the number that has been put out in the media. We encourage our citizens to call that number. We have able men and women behind the telephones, and they are willing and ready to take any. This is the number that has been put out in the media. We encourage our citizens to call that number. We have able men and women behind the telephones, and they are willing and ready to take any issues or concerns you have to enable us address this in a timely manner. We encourage you, the citizens of this nation, to walk this journey with us. A journey of transparency, a journey of responsiveness, a journey of accountability to you, the citizenry, and a journey of inclusiveness. We are keen to ensure that we include you in all aspects of our work, and that any interested citizen will, in the comfort of their homes, be able to follow our processes. You are our stakeholders, and it is in that spirit that we provide you with the details and all aspects of our work. We thank the good Lord for what he has started. Indeed, reports reaching us indicate that the elections are proceeding well across the length and breadth of this country. And we are confident that the good Lord who has started this process, this good process, will bring it to a good and expected end in Jesus' name. Amen. We declare the National Collation Center opened in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. We thank all of you. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make his beloved nation great and strong. Thank you.
Right. So that's the EC chairperson, Madame Jean Mensah, declaring the Coalition Center open. You heard her say that for the very first time, the Electoral Commission's Coalition Center has been opened up to the media, right? It's one of the reasons why they wanted to limit, the number of media houses that have access.
But they in this instance, they have still limited.
Yeah, they're still limited.
Media
but, there are quite a number of media, persons who are there. So the myth of the strong room will be busted, if I can, describe it as such, because it was always mysterious what was going on in the strong room, and how the numbers were coming in and how the figures were being collated and all of that. But this time around, with wide access granted to the media, we'll be able to see live and in real time exactly what is going on there as the figures are trooping in, so that everything is demystified, so that we know exactly what is going on. And when we are getting closer to the election results being announced, we'll be able to clearly see that. That's something that excites
Hopefully we don't have a 3-time call. God the Father,
no,
God the Son.
No, we will not. I'm sure that the EC has learned their lessons from the last election, with the figures having to come in and declare one result and come in and declare another result and come in and declare another result. It doesn't look good. It was one of the biggest criticisms of the Electoral Commission in the last election. So I'm sure that the Electoral Commission is minded that they will not.
Préservez la santé de votre aide ménagère. Gardez les étiquettes sur vos produits, supprimez l'ammoniac et la javel, évitez les vaporisateurs et aérez les pièces. Ben oui, c'est important ça. Découvrez les gestes à adopter sur tousrespectueux.be.
So these are live visuals from Tamale North, where the Member of Parliament for the area, Alassane Shaibu Soyene, is casting his ballot. He's walking into the voting booth. That's his wife, Hamdia Soyene, who's also casting her ballot for her husband, obviously.
Wasn't there a time where delegates was contesting in parties elections, and his wife and children were all delegates, and then he went there and he still got how many votes?
Yes, and he was wondering whether their party. In fact, there was one that was even at the national level. I think General Eskin. That has been much talked about. Voted with the family, and when they counted, he realized that his own wife and children did not vote for him. So
what a shocker!
Oh, really? It tells you how far we have come.
Yeah. So he's cast his ballot. Yes. Okay. Yes. In the presidential race, is he done? Probably he's going in for the parliamentary ballot paper, where he will also cast his ballot for himself, obviously. And then presidential, as expected, he will obviously vote for John Dramani Mahama.
So with the Tamale North, Tamale Central, Tamale South, is the safest seat you can ever imagine for the NDC in the Tamale metropolis. A seat that the MPP is able to put up a fight is Sanuribu. That's formerly occupied by ABA Fuseni. Yes. And then, of course, the seat that is equally been with the MPP for a while is the Yendi seat in the enclave. And so the Tamale constituencies, the metropolitan constituencies.
All right.
Okay. So, Ivy, we'll hold you there.
Yeah, we'll hold you there and return to the EC headquarters. Returning to the EC headquarters, we can see Mr. Samuel Tete on your screen there. Let's hear what he's got to say.
We have also noted that at all the police stations, we have the presence of the security personnel. And you can also attest to the fact that this is one of the main reasons why we have very peaceful environment. We haven't actually had any reported incidents of either violence or quarreling or whatever. With respect to agents at the polling stations, the two main political parties have their agents at all the polling stations. However, the other parties either have some of them at some of the polling stations, others also not there. But we have agents on the average for Mr. Alan Chematin, Nana Kwame Bidiako, the LPG, we have the GCPP, and then the APC. We also have reported cases of the presence of election observers, both local and international. We have the INEC, we also have CODIUM, we have ECOWAS, we have the presence of the EU, as well as the Commonwealth. So basically, this is a brief report from the start of polls at 7 till this time. We will give you the next update when the time is due. That's at 12 o'clock. Thank you. Yes, sorry. The toll-free number is 0800 324 324. I repeat, 0800 324 324. Thank you. So, voters can still check their names to find out where they are expected to vote. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Teti. At this point, we'd like to invite a few questions, maximum 5 questions, if you do have, for the Deputy Chair to respond. Check. Media, any question? Please, your question should relate to the first 3 hours of polling. Okay, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kokwalo Maso. I work with Pan-African TV. I want to find out from the commissioner, has she received any reported cases of the military being involved in the elections already? Because we have received reports that there are some men in uniform at some polling centers, and we do know for a fact that this is not allowed. Under whose purview does this fall, and then what's she going to do about it? Thank you. Okay, thank you. My name is Fauzuma Saudu. I work with CTFM and Channel 1 TV. I just want the commission to clarify really quickly, what are the arrangements the commission has made as regards the sitting distance of party agents to the polling station? Because I know, for instance, Kankwe Central, a pocket of, chaotic incident nearly marched the process to a point where voting even had to grind to a halt. So I just want to find out really quickly, what are the arrangements, the distance between, and then because this is the first press, I thought the Electoral Commission would take this as an opportunity to also address concerns by the NDC about the exposure of some validating stamps by your staff. Thank you.
With GH1 TV Star
okay,
FM.
So
EIB Network for short. Now, in the Wejagbawe constituency, we understand that parliamentary pick sheets are yet to arrive, delaying the commencement of voting. What does the EC have to say about that?
My name is Samuel Adoba. I work with TV Africa. A report coming from New Wejagbawe, which is police station code and pick sheet is different, which is Wejagbawe voting on hold now. Voting on hold, New Waja, over differences in police station code and pick sheet. I don't know whether the commission is aware of this issue. Finally, on Mawina with TV3, I want to find out from the commission what the...
But we have sent a message to our agents across the country to take note of these serial numbers of the stamps, so that it is information that is given to you and we are acting on it. If it doesn't happen, we have nothing to lose. But if it does happen, we will have the relevant information.
Find the issue of indelible ink difficult to give, and I think that it's important that you provide the commission with the actual place where this incident happened. The actual where this incident happened, because indelible ink is very much part of our system, and so to ensure the accuracy of this information, it's important that you provide details. I would ask, I think I'll answer one more question, and that has to do with the presence of the military. That has not been brought to our attention, and it's important for all Ghanaians to know that the Electoral Commission of Ghana has one role: to conduct free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. CT is not part of our functions. And I think when you look at our laws, whether it is the CIs, CI 91, CI 127, and the Constitution of Ghana, you will recognize that security is not part of our functions. And we do not know the security strategy of the security agencies. Granted, the Electoral Commission has a seat at the Election Security Task Force at the national, regional, and district levels, but it is limited to the provision of security agencies, policemen in our working with us to transport the ballot papers to the armories, protecting our equipment in the armories, protecting our offices as well. But as to the deployment, who goes where and who is deployed, we are not privy to that. What we know is that on the National Election Security Task Force, and I believe this runs through, it is headed by the Inspector General of Police, but you have at the national level, you have the Director General of the Immigration, the head of the Customs, the head of the Fire Service, the head of the Army, the head of the Army, and I believe the head of the Immigration. And as the Electoral Commission also sits there. But we, as we mentioned, our involvement is really restricted to the movement of our activities, the protection of our installations by the police, the supervision or the observation of the printing, and so on and so forth. As to the security deployment, we are not aware, and we are not privy to it. So we would investigate these issues that you have made. It's important that when you make these, you raise these issues, you are very direct and you provide information as to where those things are. But in terms of security, we have no hand in it, and we do not make security arrangements. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, the returning officer. So we have two other questions. The first one is the distance, the sitting distance. And I will not say that we have maybe 100 meters, 200 or 3. The rule is that the agents are to sit at a place where they can observe the process. It is only in this part, or let's say this place, that you have agents sitting on the neck of election officials. This should not be so. You find agents very close and then sitting on the neck. They don't even have a space to breathe. They are expected to sit at a distance that they can observe the process. And this issue of exposure of some validated, what we do is very simple. What is in the public domain is wrong. When we are packaging the election materials, we put them in an envelope and put it into the ballot box. It is only the indelible ink that we put into a rubber because of a possible spillage. So the assertion that we have exposed validating sums is not correct. Which other question? Yes. Yeah, the wager Bawe, that one, it hasn't actually come to our attention. So we will investigate and then give you a report on it. Thank you.
Probably can update them in the subsequent There was a stamp issue parliamentary
So that's the Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations, Samuel Tete, there. A while ago, you had the returning officer, Jean Adukwe-Mensah, the electoral commissioner. Let's go back and listen to Samuel Tete. But he, in responding to our question, he said that has not come to their attention. Quite interesting there. Let's hear him.
It's for 2 police stations. So it's just a matter of sending the swapped pin sheet to the correct police station. So it's just a swap. That is the update that we have. Thank you. So voting is still ongoing.
Thank you very much. As you've been told, we're going to give you 3 hourly updates on the voting process and how things are faring in the field. Our next press briefing will be at 12 noon. We'll follow it up with 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and then we'll end at 9 p.m. for today. So thank you, members of the press. You are welcome as we share the situation on the ground with voters and the Ghanaian public. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right.
So that's the Electoral Commission headquarters there. They said they will bring us 3 hourly updates. So we should expect the next one at 12 at midday, the next one at 3 p.m. and the next one at 9 p.m. So just know that we're stationed there. We'll bring you all the live updates from the Electoral Commission headquarters. Not just there, but live across the country. Everything you need to know about the election. But mind you, you need to go out there and exercise your franchise. It is important. Ivy. Yes. The Electoral Commission says it was just initially they said they had not gotten receipt of that complaint of non-delivery of pink sheets. Now they say it was just a swap of pink sheets in that and the Wejagba constituency.
Well, 2 questions were asked relative to pink sheets. One was from our own Araba Edu, and the answer directly from Samuel Titi, it was that the commission has not been alerted to that development. That's very unfortunate. Because as we speak, that polling station, voting is not taking place. The party agents are insisting that, yes, indeed, the presidential pink sheet is available, but that of parliamentary is not. And until that of parliamentary comes, the exercise will not commence. Now, there was a second question about one polling station that has a code on a pink sheet not matching with the code for the polling station. And he talks about the fact that that was a swap. So it's just a matter of sending that pink sheet to the appropriate polling station or voting center, which could be at the same voting area.
To correspond,
Exactly. But what the one happening in Wejagbawe, where voting is even yet to commence as we speak, the EC says it's not been alerted. And I think that would be unfortunate, especially on the part of the EC officers.
When they have Electoral Commission officers there.
Exactly. You should trigger the reporting systems.
Because it's 10 a.m., 3 hours after voting commenced. And if they have not received pink sheets, and for that, polling agents or party agents say, we will not allow voting to commence. What happens to that particular polling?
We'll have to return to Obed Kingagulo and find out whether that matter has been resolved.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do that because one would imagine that because you heard Mr. Samuel Tete there say that, voting is ongoing and it's an issue of, pink sheets being swapped, and all of that. But with the positions that the parties have taken, and it makes sense to them, right? Even though one would imagine that pink sheets are used at the end of voting, where the figures are put into the pink sheets and the agents have to sign. And so one would imagine that, okay, let's allow the voting to go on while we wait for the pink sheets to come. And so if the EC is minded, they would want to get to these polling stations, that the party agents have said they will not allow voting to start, and try and find an amicable solution. Because if it's going to take a long time for the pink sheets to be sorted out, for it to get there, it will get at 3 p.m., it will get at 4 p.m. Does it mean that voting is not going to go on? So the voting process can start, right? The voting process can start, so that when the pink sheets get in, they just have to be very vigilant about it. Nothing is written on the pink sheets, and they have their figures recorded so that voting can start.
Comes in, we understand that in Medina there was an absence of seal on the ballot box, and the electoral officer there is explaining why this incident occurred. Let's hear.
So for 504A. That's DC Primary School and Hospital. What happened was when the EC officials brought the ballot boxes to us, some of the party agents, essentially, let me say, some of the party agents claimed that they were not having their seals on the boxes. And then secondly, they claimed that even if EC have the seals on the boxes, they even feel where we will use, where we'll be putting the ballot papers, that place too should have a seal. But because it wasn't having a seal there, that's why they were having challenge. Even though EC have their seals on the ballot boxes, they have seal as party seal is using on it. But the other side too said, they understand, because their big men told them that they couldn't secure all the boxes with their seals. But the ones that they've given to them is what they will use when we are doing the election. So that was what the misunderstanding that is. So the other side said we shouldn't open the boxes until there has been some clarification. So at the end of it, we were able to arrive at a consensus, and then the ballot box was opened, then the work have started. As you can see, the place now is quiet, everybody is quiet, people have voted and gone. So we hope peace continues like that. Mine station, the parliamentary box, the NDC have their seal on it, but MPP is not having. and then the others when NPP is not having. But the EC have the seal on all the listen. So it is not something that normally causes problems during election time. Yeah. And today, I mean, everybody wanted to vote. As previously, when we come early in the morning like that, you don't see the numbers here like that. But this time, the numbers are huge. Yeah. You can see from the other side, people are still there in their queue. Yeah.
All right, so that's the electoral officer there explaining why there was an absence of seal on a particular ballot box. He says, well, there's nothing absolutely wrong with it.
Yes, there are things, there are limitations for the political parties. It's practically impossible for you to procure seals for almost all the electoral materials that are being transported. And so as you heard the electoral officer say, the NDC was able to get a number of seals on a number of the boxes containing the ballot papers. The MPP could also get a number of seals for a number of the ballot boxes, but the EC seals were intact on all those ballot materials. And I think once the explanation was given and there was an amicable understanding, why not? It's good that the process has continued. But back to the wager ballot briefly to talk about the reason why the absence of the pink sheet has become an issue. The polling agent and electoral observers are expected to inspect all the electoral materials that are transported to
every single
before the exercise starts. And so if that has not been done, and then they go ahead with the process, later the pink sheet might come. But then again, somebody might have a reason to raise an issue that the materials might have passed somewhere before coming.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they should all agree. They should all agree. The party agents, the electoral officers, the election observers, they should all agree. If they are able to agree, both MPP and NDC are able to agree, right? And observe the process in a very vigilant manner, you know, while they wait for the pink sheets, then I think we are good to go. But of course, if there is a misunderstanding, if NDC doesn't agree and MPP agrees, or MPP doesn't agree and NDC agrees, or vice versa, then it becomes a problem. But I am concerned about the people who are in the queue, who have been waiting since 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to cast their ballots, and they are still sitting there as at 10:20 a.m. and they've still not begun voting because party agents cannot agree because pink sheets are not. Of course, it's an error on the part of the Electoral Commission, and it should not happen. So the Electoral Commission should, with alacrity, try and resolve this particular issue. But as it has not been resolved, what are we doing?
All right, so you know that this is your comprehensive coverage of the 2024 general elections. We're giving you a showdown on TV, on radio, and online. We're back after this breather. Do stay tuned in. Do not miss any part of our coverage. Just know that we're also live on various social media pages. You don't want to miss any part of it. This is your Election Hub.
Said you never my thing. Right, I'm going to be more straight.
Hey, yeah. Oh, is it? Come. Chairman.
I hear say the electoral commission they can't do some exhibition.
Exhibition? What be that one again?
See, all be sentence. You see, with the big drama. They just use those things then take chop big money. All be lies.
No, Charlie.
Chairman,
Go on.
That's what the big case.
Yeah.
We were just discussing the upcoming exhibition that EC just announced.
Oh, yes.
EC, I beg, make you explain some things to me.
Oh, you see, it be very simple matter. Okay. You see, the officers who are conducting the registration exercise, they're the human beings like me, they're not the machine. Also, sometimes they might have made a mistake or two when entering information. That's all. Okay.
So how does that affect us?
Let me give you an example. Let's say you live in Kaswa in the central region. But during the registration, they put in your residential district as Ayawaso in the greater Accra region. This is not be correct. Where you serve, as you think you man, right? Or maybe for your details inside, then select female for your sex. You say you're not correct.